Hello, everybody, and welcome to Frontier Doubles League. We are in Grand Finals week, this time in Expert League, seeing the Unicorns taking on the Huskies. I am Mia, and I am joined by Galloway. How are you doing tonight, good sir?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, and I have made sure that while I am streaming and casting to y'all, usually my microphone, which I don't know if you've called this or not before, Blade, usually it reverts to default, so it doesn't pick up my voice, so it's always a one-sided conversation for the initial caster. But today, I made sure to make sure that didn't happen. So you're welcome, playoff peoples. I did this specifically for you, but I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I've had a very lovely Saturday. It has been very
Nice.
nice, very chill, very cool, and I am excited to see this grand finals get played. You know, uh, Another matchup between two fantastic organizations, the Unicorns and the Huskies, because we did see the Unicorns take down the Huskies in the Adept League yesterday. So it'll be the Unicorns looking for their second title and the Huskies trying to find their first. Uh, do you have anything you'd like to say? I mean, I think we should get these guys in the lobby. They have been in here. I have been talking at them, and they have been so polite with me. And I think we should just let them play. What do you think?
Yeah, I have to agree, and the only thing I can possibly say at this point is let's get ready to go. That's all the hype you get. I've right now hype you. I'm sorry.
No, that's totally fine. We got everybody loaded up in here. This is a best of 7.
Correct.
So first to 4 on this, and Galloway, I just realized I think the thing that you forgot is on your overlay. It says season 10 quarterfinals on the caster screen.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew I was forgetting it somewhere. Don't worry, I will have that lickety splickety. And oh my god, would you look at that? It's still not fixed. LOL, JK, get Flashbang's dream and it's fixed. With that one.
Amazing. And you also, I think, need to transition so the lovely people can actually see the game that we are watching.
What do you mean? That's just stream showing.
Yes, there we go. So, I just would like you to know that there are replays of these, but as far as the stream is concerned, the first 30 seconds of the Expert League Season 10 Grand Finals are now lost media. Good thing nothing happened, and that's a great save out of Hayes, able to clear that one out. Mayhem grabbing this corner boost, turning a little awkward on the ball, flips around at Hayes, going to try to get this one in the middle, can't. Timmy does a great job putting it out into the corner, good patience, but Finer going in there a bit reckless, soft shot wide. Mayhem picking up the boost, and Finer just going to send it into the middle and back off.
Indeed, and really all of those doing is just better more of what they want are beautiful pictures and faces. Like you said, that's what's happening, but speaking of things happening, it is now Mayhem's going to open up this series for the first goal of the game. Here, a minute and 23 seconds in, off of a nice little, I don't want to quite say breakaway, but it was a nice little counter. Got the ball from the Huskies. We're trying to push on an offense, but couldn't quite get anything going. Mayhem with that good control, if I remember correctly, beat out one of the guys, and the other one was just not able to get anywhere relevant to put a save onto it, but looks like Mayhem's going to be trying to set up for another one.
Yeah, and that's a nice little touch from Hayes, but this ball going to go all the way back in the corner. Timmy taking his time with it over the net, flips into it. Can't find it across the midline. Finer up the ball with this one, sees Hayes in the middle, trying to find the flip, doesn't have it, pops it off the top. Hayes turns, but this one's going to get booted over the head of Hayes. Oh, that's just miscommunication. I think Finer was definitely hoping Hayes would dive in, and he sat too close, was turning around, and that ball just over his head, and Mayhem sending a second one in for the Unicorns.
Indeed, and right now the Unicorns are galloping away in this game one. However, it is still 3 minutes. It is still just game one. Plenty of time for the Huskies to do what they do best and back into the series and win it. That said, beat Timmy up against Hayes. Hayes was able to get a save. Finer not getting the clear that he wants. Mayhem coming to follow it up, but it does hit crossbar, and the second chance does go wide, and we will get ourselves the first goal for this Huskies team. Hayes is the name, and in your goal is his game.
Oh my, I really thought that this was a third for the Unicorns, and it's not. It goes the other way, and it's the first for the Huskies. The miss is coming out. I think it was Hayes. When Hayes was up, I saw Feiner had gone forward for boost, just making a challenge like that. I was just like, this is all so risky, and it ends up working out fine, and the team play comes out. Hayes to Feiner, back into the back of the net. We're halfway through it, and the Huskies have knotted this one up, as that's an unbelievable touch. 85 miles an hour.
What in the Ohio are we watching play with that counterattack being as perfect as it is? And Feiner also jumping in the Twitch chat after getting that goal to go in. Crazy. But the Roadhog trying to make the magic happen, does win out the big 50, sends it towards the midfield over to 8. Now trying to take it off the wall, gonna go for the dunk. Can't get the dunk, but it was very close. Mayhem clearing it out, but Feiner trying to send it back in. Couldn't get that one. Timmy sending the great 50. Feiner getting met by Mayhem. Timmy winning this 50, pushing it down the field slowly but surely. Mayhem throwing it towards the goal, but just barely wide, and Hayes able to clear it out. And Blade, this Huskies team, trying to stave off a strong comeback from the Unicorns, who really want to put those 2 goal streaks to rest, but they just can't get it cleared out at this point.
No, they're struggling to get this ball free from their corners. They have at least that it is in their corners. It is fairly safe here, but Feiner not when he brings it out in front, and Hayes going to drive that one into the post. Timmy going fishing for a demo, can't find anything, and Mayhem just going to knock this one out in the middle, where Feiner going to send this to the wall. He's up for this one, can't find the touch. Mayhem can't get the catch that he would like, does have a follow, but this is kept in by Hayes. Timmy just going to send it forward. Hayes going to pop this one up. Hayes grabbing this boost into the corner, waiting for this one, just gonna let Timmy touch it. This one, Feiner keeping it in, trying to get some more pressure going, as we're down under a minute and we're still tied in game 1.
Indeed, this really has been a good back and forth. Just Unicorns doing a solid job in the first 2 minutes, grabbing a goal for each minute, and then Huskies just rapidly picking up the sled, getting 2 in right quick to match us up. Just for it to now evolve into the stalemate that we are watching in these 2 teams. However, Unicorns now trying to fight hard. That's going to be a nice shot. Mayhem almost getting the bump off. Didn't quite get it, which I don't know if it had been in or not off of it exactly, Blade. But either way, beautiful attempt. Now that demo, Timmy's going to have to clear it. He will clear it. Coming down to the final 10 seconds, the Roadhog gets 50, but is able to secure it to the corner. Grabs himself some boost. Going to try to go off the ceiling. He's going to try to get the final shot of the game. He's good for the dribble in the air. Both Unicorns are up, but Blade, it is clear.
Oh. Yeah, Hayes, I was on his camera there. He was driving back. He had a full tank. He could have made a play. Decides he doesn't want to. Feiner off the kickoff here. Mayhem getting back for the save. First shot, 5 seconds in, is turned aside. We'll just keep going with this narrow angle, turned aside by Hayes, who's going to be able to go up for this one. Has a touch. Going to try for a 50 behind it. Drops, and then this pops up. And Feiner is up, trying to put it to the corner, and he puts it into the post. Timmy, not a lot of boost, just trying to get it out, and does, finding some relief. This one up, Feiner looking for another touch, but he drops it back. Hayes with the shot. No, it's going to go the other way. This one, it's going to be in for Mayhem. And the Unicorns steal it.
Feiner going for it, and incredibly risky pass and play. Now, I respect it. I don't think he expected Mayhem to have any chance of getting there first. That's where you could tell that he was not paying attention to Mayhem's car. You could tell he was not seeing if Mayhem was in a position to strike at that or have to just wait and to receive it, because that was just incredibly high risk for potentially no reward. And in fact, as we saw, the reward was no reward at all, but a curse. And the Unicorns, as you said, were able to steal away game 1. Mayhem getting his hat trick to win this for the Unicorns. TB. No offensive stats here other than just shots, but he equaled Mayhem in the pressure with those 4 shots. Got 2 saves of his own. Each one of these 2 players doing a fantastic job to give this Unicorns game 1.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a solid game. I hope we can see the at least for you and I, Galloway, the clip in the back. But I think I had my view on Hayes, who I think is the ball it ended up going over. That when Finer dropped it back, I was on Hayes's camera and I understood why he dove in. It was a very tantalizing ball. I think
Mm-hmm.
I was just looking a little bit too much at the ball and not enough about the cars that were also fairly close to it, because it dead center. You just get any good touch on that and it feels like a free goal, but it
Mm-hmm.
looked like he had hesitated, and Mayhem took great advantage of that one to capitalize and put the Unicorns up in a game where towards the end of it, really the Huskies pressure just seemed uh, inevitable, but
Yeah.
still ball found its way in the back of their net.
That it did. And speaking of the back of the net, we got Hayes throwing it into the back of the net in front of Mayhem, who's actually in the back of the net, lost in the sauce, looking for some Old Bay seasoning to put on his Crab Fest king crab legs, but could not get any. Instead, got sucker punched in the face by the Huskies, getting that goal number 1 in 15 seconds. And I gotta say, my metaphors were fantastic, and my timing on point there, Blade. Ah, stutters in all of itself.
Yeah, Finer picking this one up, trying to get it back the other way and can, and Hayes gonna send this one to the back wall. He is out of, I think, one of the worst Batmobiles possible and has found himself into a bit more traditional Fennec. So we'll see how this works out for him. But almost through a minute, it is Huskies up, and it's going to be Unicorns trying to find something, and they do get a quick ring from that post before it finds itself in the back of the net. Timmy finding the equalizer.
With beautiful placement, he found that equalizer, and I don't know if you could hear me just in the background with my humming or whatever you want to call that. But you could tell as soon as it went for that double commit, I was incredibly worried for the Huskies' future on defense, and for good reason, as they were able to tie this game 2 up. And now the Unicorns trying to push it, but Finer doing a great job at stalling out on the defense and getting that ball moving, not allowing any defense to really try and push it. And now this is going to turn into incredibly risky. No second chance. Hayes trying to follow it up, can't get it. Unicorns surviving, thriving, but no boost. Never mind.
Surviving and thriving and no boost. You know, you can be surviving and thriving and not have boost. Boost isn't the be all and end all. Keeping the ball out of your net is, and that's a great flip reset. Finer going to drop this one down, and Hayes is there to smack it into the top shelf to give the Huskies back the lead. Nice little flip reset, fancy little touch to the backboard, and a fantastic finish from Hayes.
Indeed it was. It was a fantastic offensive play from that Husky team to take this lead back from a tied ball game. That said, Mayhem now going to go up. He will get it over to defense. Almost slammed that in. Timmy B following it up to get the second shot and get the tied ball game back underway. And really, at this point, Blade, I don't want it anywhere else. I want this to be a series full of goal differentials, just so we can see the exciting plays like that happen, which we have not been disappointed with so far, I would say.
Truthfully, Galloway, I'd go one further. I don't just want 1-goal games. I want everything to go into overtime. I want 7 overtime games. I want everybody to need to see a cardiologist after this one. Not just the players, not just us. I want everybody watching too. Cardiologist gonna be doing good. Is this one off the post? Out. Finer able to get this one, collect it, has a bit of boost, doing a little bit of who knows what with it, but he does grab some boost in Hayes there. And that's a great demo. This should be another goal, and it is. Finer going forward, finding the room, finding the space for Hayes to go for a nice Saturday drive.
Nice Saturday drive with a nice Saturday, wait. Look at my reference to the song correct here. Yeah, Saturday Night Special. There we go. If you know the song reference, you know the song reference as to what it means. That kill and that goal was a perfect. Now, is this going to be an open net? Let's Mayhem get to it, and he does. No boost to clear it, but Timmy picking up the corner, able to throw it down the buy some time for both himself and his teammate. But now Huskies back on the offense. Trying to get a flip reset. Couldn't quite get it, but does keep moving this ball down. Timmy, no boost. Finer, no boost. Fighting it out in the corner. Timmy will win the 50 game, but lose the boost game. Bumps Finer, however, giving Mayhem plenty of room to try to get a touch there. However, Hayes putting in, trying really work well to each other, play off to what each one's doing. They're doing a fantastic job. That's gonna be a great steal. That might just go in. It does. Blade Mayhem shutting me up, but I was trying to ramble. Thank you, brother. What an insane read to tie this game.
He just went up there and he got it. He took what was his. He sent it towards that net, and he found it in the back of it, tying this one up. It really is. These two teams feel so equal. And Mayhem, I'm just on his camera like I hadn't even switched off. So I got to watch this over the shoulder. This is such a nice little touch, and right over Finer's head, back of the net, no bounce. And it took a matter of, oh man,
3 seconds.
3 seconds, 4 seconds for that lead to not just evaporate, but become a deficit. So now it's the Huskies needing to find a little bit. Is this one going to go dangerously across the face of goal with no punishment, but a demo? So Finer going to need to take a 50, and does, and going to have to retreat on this one. As the Unicorn's going to try to mount another attack.
The Unicorns, the attack that they're mounting is devastatingly worrisome if you're a defensive minded team. Maybe not defensive minded team, but a team ended. Because it was just great angles, good shots, but now it's Timmy no boost, not able to do much. Mayhem having to play patient, didn't play patient enough. Caught a little too far forward and out of position, unable to flip into it. Finer getting a good second touch. I don't think Mayhem was actually making. That will catch them slipping on the defense. Just under a minute now. Tied ball game. That OT that you were hoping for just might be a reality here soon.
Yeah, it very well could be, but that's going to be a shot from Hayes on target and turned aside as Finer sending a soft one. Does get a dunk. Hayes grabbing some boost, trying to send it towards the middle, and Mayhem gets rid of it, but that was Hayes getting rid of Timmy and can't find the 50 as this ball is cleared the other way. Hayes trying to collect this one. It's a little bit of a strong touch. This one high over the net. Finer only half a tank from the wall, doesn't find it. Timmy picking up that mid boost, but he's just going to play patient, let this ball roll up into his corner and try to collect it from here. He flips out for it and gets a touch, and Finer can't get it over as we come down to the final 10 seconds. Mayhem, third of a tank, has the flip, looking for the touch. It's saved by Finer over the head of Timmy. Finer with mostly a full tank, has the full tank, is not a lot of time, catches it, pops. It's up, Timmy turning it aside. It's still not down. Mayhem will let it drop.
Let it drop or have no boost, and is just trying to be there in case they're in the air for it. But nobody up in the air. We will get a shot by Finer, but it will get sent away. Timmy trying to catch it. Can't quite do so because Hayes will put the pressure. Mayhem will be there to throw it into the corner. Now going to try to get it down to his teammate. Does not get it. Finer is now carrying it, but gets just destroyed in the 50 game by Timmy, who wins that one. That's just perfectly floating down, but nobody's there to put it in, and it's just barely wide. It does not naturally just fall in there. It'll be a pass center by Mayhem, but Hayes is there to clear it. Finer's there to take it, send it, but Mayhem cuts them off. Blade, both of these teams trying to end it here. Finer, maybe hurting more than helping there.
Oh, no.
Will allow Mayhem to throw that in, and the Unicorns win game 2 in overtime once more. Finer going for the big 50, trying to cut Timmy off, and high risk once again, Blade, but no reward in overtime.
You know, Galloway,
Yes.
if I had a nickel for every time the Huskies overcommitted on offense in overtime that resulted in a counterattacking goal for the Unicorns by Mayhem, I'd have 2 nickels.
And
Which
that's not
isn't
a lot.
but it is weird that it has happened
more
twice in 2 games.
And
Like, this is another one that the Unicorns, I felt like that they played well, but like that it felt like the Huskies they gave up another game.
And to add to that, the OT goal by Mayhem gave him his hat trick.
You know,
when it works, it just works. Todd Howard, be proud.
Yeah, it's like I could admire trying, the Huskies trying to play home run ball in overtime, but it is maybe not in the finals. They need to just find a way to make that play a bit safer. It's such a risk to take, and if they just keep taking that, this series is going to be over quickly. Like, they just cannot afford that. Especially this series. I mean, the margins are so thin. I don't think we've had a 2-goal lead by any team.
Game one.
So there has been. So there's been 1 2-goal lead. Everything else has been
actually, yeah. Right, sorry.
So then everything else then has been 1-goal leads and overtimes. Margins don't really get any thinner than that, and with the stakes at their highest, that needs to get fixed.
Absolutely. I mean, these are games that could go either way. Obviously, I mean they're OT goals, but I mean it's really, I feel like, just the impatience from Feiner there. And I don't want to single him out and call him out. I'm not doing that. But it's the impatience there in OT. He sees the opportunity and really wants to go for it. And by all means, use respect. I greatly appreciate that. But you have to just be aware of the other team, what they're going to do in that situation. And, well, in Game 2, that was a lot less riskier. But it just, at the same time, the risk was just still not really worth it. But also a fantastic shot by Feiner while I was yapping, and an amazing save of the Unicorn while I was yapping, and I'm going to stop yapping. Let you carry this away.
Yeah, as Timmy trying to carry this one back in the zone. Half Mayhem. Going to try to keep this in the corner, and Hayes bringing it the other way. Has some boost, has a touch, sending this one sky high into the backboard. Dropping down, Feiner trying to send a chopper on, looking for a couple bumps, can't find it, and Hayes sending this one into the corner, trying to send it back mid. Not the strongest touch. Feiner having to back off. No boost, though, doing a great job trying to stay close to the play, but this could come back to bite them if they don't keep some boost in their back pocket. But Feiner finding another clear, and Husky is looking to generate some pressure, but that's a crazy amount of power forcing Hayes to make a save.
And now they're still fighting hard to make this happen. Can't quite get into goal yet here on offense, but that's so incredibly close. Another 50 in front of the goal, and we have ourselves the first goal here in Game 3, going to Timmy B. Where's George off of a fantastic 50 off Feiner. And really, that's not like you could really complain about there if you're Huskies. You just got out-pressured, outmaneuvered by the Unicorns playing that oppressive offensive rotation. They played that incredibly well. But that's going to be a great 50. And Blade, the Huskies are trying to start back the counterattack to tie this game back up. But, right.
This should be. And it is. Yeah, that is a. Unfortunate to see Timmy. Yeah, it really is. This is certainly Rocket League. Timmy just rushing that play had so much time, so much space. By the looks of that kind of play, he didn't realize it. Is Feiner going to be able to bring this one back the other way? Because I was actually on Hayes' view, and I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. And if it was, incredible play. Great job from Feiner getting back to it. And just like that, now it's the Huskies in the lead doing what the Unicorns did to them in Game 2. But we're still only halfway. I mean, and I just don't think that we're going to be finding the solutions to many of these games in regulation either.
Probably not. But as series do wear on, there is fatigue that happens. Teams who get frustrated by stuff not quite going their way do sometimes fall into deeper risk. Stuff not quite actually happening, and the Huskies are unable to throw this in. Wait a second,
Wait,
it's not over yet. Okay.
Oh my
Somehow
goodness!
that does not go in, Blade. I don't know if it's just the Huskies' fantastic defense. I don't know if it's the third player's fantastic defense. All I know is that ball does not go in, and Huskies maintain that 1-goal lead by the slimmest of slim margins.
That ball was mostly in the net. You would need to just blow on it gently to put it in, and they just could not find the brief bit of contact they need. But Finer bumped to the ceiling. Maybe gonna try to go back to this one. Doesn't. Hayes, most of the tank turns off of this. Mayhem gonna smash this one down into the Huskies half. Has this one trying to put it on target. Soft shot saved. Finer gonna drag it across the face of goal the other direction. Good 50, good recovery. Has this ball on the top of his car. Sees his teammate on the other side. Fantastic flick, and it's off the crossbar, but he's gonna be there to tap it in, extending the Huskies lead.
And this is the second time we've had a 2-goal game. That one is going off. Not one to go in either, but like you said,
what a flick.
He was there to tap that one in. Nobody on defense able to contest it and keep it awkward. No goalpost to keep banging it off of and around to make that awkward. This is going to be a 2v1. Ever so briefly, a good shot attempt, but just a little too high from the Timmy man. But Mayhem is there. Getting challenged. Throws it down hard. It was wide, but Mayhem getting control. Gets the second shot. Finer is there, able to recognize what's happening. Rotating to defense. Timmy's going to throw that one on net. Hayes able to get the save. Finer going for the boost. That's going to be a fantastic pass from Timmy. Throwing that in. 2-goal lead is now evaporated back to 1. Huskies holding on barely to a lead with 38 seconds remaining with a beautiful set of offensive maneuvers from that Unicorns team, Blade.
That was incredible. What a pass. And now with 35 seconds to go, the Unicorns just need to do that one more time to force overtime, but they have to stop this first, and they do. Mayhem can't find a second touch. Timmy popping this one high. Finer up for this, trying to drive it towards the net off the backboard. Mayhem, no boost. Hayes sending it over the top. Finer, no boost, not there. Timmy, no boost either. Down to the final 15. He's just sitting behind it, sends a flick turned aside. Timmy still no boost. Mayhem sending it out front. Finer driving it across up the wall. Finer and Timmy go, and Finer getting this one across down into the final seconds, and Hayes just going to be able to drop this one, and the Huskies take it in regulation, and this one to find themselves on the board. This is... and, oh my goodness, the Huskies saved 11 shots. And I am also hearing from the Unicorns that they are asking for a server reset.
Well. I can certainly make that happen for them. Get everybody out, if you will, please, my lovely co-caster. And gotta say, the only game that we did not have a hat trick in, the only game we did not have a hat trick in by Mayhem or anybody for that matter is the game that the Huskies win. Not saying that's going to be a statistic that we really have to worry about. There being some kind of indicator here, but that's still just a little fun fact. Both of these teams just really stepped it up in Game 3, especially the Huskies, who were just fighting tooth and nail to make that happen, Blade.
They were. I also have a caster fun fact here. I always like to do a little bit of math. I saw before we exited that lobby that the Unicorns took 15 shots, and they scored twice, and so which means that they missed. There were 2 missed shots because there were 11 saves on the side of the Huskies. So 2 missed shots, and they lost 3-2. Funny how the math works sometimes. So their missed shots, I really have to say, it's like that statistically was all in favor of the Unicorns. It really looked like it was their game to have, and the Huskies just they found their chances, they found their times, and the Unicorns couldn't convert. But into game 4 we go. Fresh set of 5 minutes. Scores back at 0, and Huskies now looking to even this series, and the Unicorns certainly wanting to take a 3-1 lead as that shot to the far post turned aside by Feiner.
But Timmy B still has other plans for that ball, Blade.
Yeah. He certainly does.
What insane turn of events there. I mean, I really want you to just carry this away, but I do not want that to go undersold. It's just an amazing turnaround by Mayhem was to get that ball centered to Timmy, and for Timmy to just throw that one in. I think that right there, it's hard to call that a statement goal per se, but that's definitely frustrated with how that last game ended. However, Hayes and Feiner, who are now finally starting to feel themselves here, are getting some good players going themselves. Feiner with another beautiful pass, and second man coming in, throwing that in, making it happen. Tie game.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why Timmy was up there. Like it almost worked, but it felt like he was trying to be up for a flick that may or may not have shown up, and I think really at that point that's really what sealed the fate, was deciding for the guy with the ball what he was going to do before the ball happened. Is Feiner absolutely styling with a musty into the sidewall for a redirect into the mid. As Timmy doesn't need style, he just needs solid fundamentals. Takes a great 50 and is able to just drive this ball forward into the net while he has a little convoy from his teammate.
Indeed, and I can't look at the stat boards at any point in time during the match, of course, since I'm streaming, but I do want to keep an eye on this game here for Timmy B, because I feel like he's starting to I'm starting to repeat myself in redundancy. It does start, it does feel like he's starting to warm up and starting to get more active, not just as the second man, but getting in there to make the plays happen, to set the offense or the score and whatnot. Which I'm really excited to see if he can become the big man on the block like he is right now, Blade. It will be a huge thing for this Unicorns team, and my word, Timmy B making it happen with no boost, getting a big 50.
Yeah, Hayes just trying to play the ball backward. He got a little bit in front of it and got a little awkward, shouted to the outside. Had the touch in, and Timmy able to find that 50. And yeah, Timmy is showing up. He has a hat trick already. We have played 100 seconds as Feiner trying to find a flick. Can't. Hayes kind of send this one up high. Can't find the bump. Mayhem able to side flip his way to safety, bringing this ball forward up along the wall. Timmy into the middle. Good demo, but Feiner going to be able to take this one the other way. Has enough boost. Just needs one more touch, and it should be good. And that's going to roll all the way in. Feiner finding another for his team. So was a little lead for the Unicorns, and Huskies starting to claw their way back into this one, but 3 minutes is still tons of time to go.
Absolutely, and I really like what Timmy was trying to do there. It was very Timmy, I love it. Great pass. Mayhem, fantastic shot. Way to reorient yourself to throw that underneath Hayes. And what I was trying to say is I love what Timmy was doing, going for that demo there. It's similar to what we saw in overtime for game 1 and 2. Not enough reward for the risk, especially with where your teammate was coming from with the shot. But then he instantly made that up with that gorgeous pass off the kickoff. Mayhem rewarding him for his hard efforts. And now Mayhem trying to get a pass off here. He's going to go for the demo on Feiner. Can't get it, but does get a bump off, make him awkward enough for Timmy to get a 50. Mayhem going up. Wins the 50 against Hayes. Feiner, no boost to his name. None spawning until after he passed. But Timmy did back off, but he will intercept this. Feiner gets the second touch before Timmy can do what he wants to do. Mayhem will send that low, send it wide, and does get the follow-up, and we have 5-2 game played. First 3-goal differential we have seen the entire series.
You know, and it only, with these guys, it only took us, what, 23 minutes almost.
Too
23
dang
minutes
on
plus
long.
about a minute. Hey, I think that that's not long enough. I would have preferred to keep it a bit closer. I think that
Right.
the Huskies owe the viewers, a closer match here, but there's still 2 minutes left. 3 goals is certainly not
Oh, no.
impossible, as I think that those were some team bumps, but where are the Huskies? As that ball sat forever in front of that net, and there was nobody to put it in, as Feiner, 74 boost, pops over one, over the second, trying to get back to it, looking for his teammate. Hayes gonna send it wide, and that ball, that has to go in. It has to go in. I know it's a hard shot, but this is the finals. That is how you win them. You need to score there. Oh,
Look, I'm looking at the field right now, Blade, and none of these players have Galloway Saka as their username. What are they doing missing the open nets here in the playoffs? We got Mayhem trying to get a nice little dribble going on here. Can't get it around the defense. Couldn't quite get the control he was really looking forward to there, especially with the pressure he was receiving. That's going to be kind of a weak pass, but that's going to be a double commit, double whiff from the Unicorns, allowing Hayes to put some pressure here and just keep the ball on their side. Unicorns they're starting to feel, I don't want to say flustered. They're not starting to look that way at all. They don't quite seem like they're fatigued, but it does feel like there's something quite not right. But as I'm trying to say that, Timmy B says, you know what, Galloway, you're honking at me just right. Mayhem with that beautiful 50. I want to throw that in to reward him. Give a 4-goal lead now with 44 seconds remaining. This Huskies team can make a lot of great stuff happen, Blade, but I'm beginning to think they're going to have to start looking at the tight ropes here.
Yeah, I think that this is a situation where, I mean, not saying don't try, but I think I don't get me wrong, Galloway. I think 4 was iced. This is certainly iced. 5 goals in 37 seconds. I would say for the quality of this series, impossible. That this is 37 seconds worth of timeout. Then you have your post game minute, and I think you need to call another one. And at this point, really, every goal that gets scored, it adds probably 6, 7 seconds, 8 seconds to just talk, figure out what's going on. That with this one being out of reach, doesn't really matter how many goals the Unicorns happen to score, they will still win this game, whether they score 3 or 30. So, what do you do? Going into game 5, you're down 3-1. This is it. Like, this is it. You have to figure it out, and it feels like that the Huskies almost have it figured out, but are just having some struggles. As that's a great follow up off of a nice little air dribble from Hayes. So, there's still this offense in here, and I think it's a little bit of the rotations. It feels like sometimes they're not diving in when they need to and diving in when they shouldn't, and it's going to be a matter of figuring that out, which is something that the Unicorns already have.
Indeed, and you never want to see a team give up even when it's down like that, especially when it's not the end of the series. So I appreciate the fact that they're really fighting hard here to the end. Like you said, this is a great time to try to get something figured out, to try to stop the momentum from this Huskies team, or Unicorns team rather, which is exploding here in game 5. 4?
5.
No,
Actually,
it's game 4, because if it's 5,
oh my goodness,
this would be the end of the series here. But
caster math. Caster math.
That's called for on the spot, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, we're still performing so well played is. I'm just yammering like an old man who forgot his medication.
Yep, and there it is. Huskies coming through with the timeout.
And double hat tricks this time, Blade. When there's a hat trick, the Unicorns are winning.
Wow, that's crazy. If you make it so that players on the other team can't score 3 goals, that you're going to have a good chance at winning. I think that there's something in that line of thought, like something worth pursuing there. I think
crazy.
Like,
defense wins championships.
Defense or something. Well, defense can be a good offense. You don't need to save a lot of shots if you just don't let them take them.
Yeah,
that's certainly one theory, but the Huskies going to be taking their time, thinking, thinking about what they need to do to take down this mythical team, this unicorn squad that is looking better and better after every game. It was so close at the start. They started to separate in the game prior to this past, and then this one absolutely blew the doors off of the Huskies, even if quite a bit of it was in garbage time. That still, that team can score like that at their best. So tough for the Huskies, and I think it's going to involve, I think, more violence. They're just going to need to start demoing.
Well, we saw at the very beginning they lost both of these games, but they got more demos in games 1 and 2, and it was a lot tighter. And we saw in game 3 where they had like 11 saves to the one of the Huskies or Unicorns. When they were playing the defense, they won that game. So I do think I love the offensive push they want to do. I really appreciate that. But I don't want them to overcommit. I don't want to see them going for stuff they shouldn't do. High risk, high reward. We've been going on about that. They got to keep in mind on what the reward is, and that's the end of timeout. So if you could tell them that while I'm yapping, I'd appreciate that. They have to really gauge not just what can happen from your team. They have to keep in mind what this Unicorns team can do as well, because they have done a fantastic job on those counterattacks play.
Yeah, they have, and I think that the Huskies will need to lean into a bit more of a counter-attacking game, a bit more of a physical game, something that may not be as flashy, but it's going to be solid fundamentally. I really think that that's going to be a big part of this is fundamentals, is going to be taking 50s and things. Like, I found that Timmy has played an excellent series, and he really hasn't done anything fancy, but he has done the simple things well. He's taking great 50s. He's putting his car in the places that he needs to find the opportunities that he's getting. He's showing great patience, like right here, just waiting for them to do things, dragging this ball over the top of the net, and just creating pressure that way. It's something that I'm not seeing out of the Huskies, that they're wanting to be a little fancy sometimes, and I think that they need to go for some more high percentage plays. Like, I like this approach. Like, Hayes is just taking his time, seeing what the Unicorns are going to do, and then reacting off of that.
Yeah, and that's one thing we know, especially about Feiner. He's a very mechanical player, so we'll expect to see those mechanical plays want to be used here in games. But one of the things we're really seeing from the Huskies is some very solid teamwork. And that's been our Unicorns, and it's really paid off well for them. But in this situation here, a very fine job from this Husky team to turn this ball around, to get that into the Unicorns' net at the halfway marker of the field. However, Timmy B just instantly equalizing it with a beautiful pop shot from the corner off of a great 50 from Mayhem, and that's just what we have seen from this Unicorn team. It's just solid gameplay, solid teamwork, being there for each other.
Yeah.
And I just want to see more of that kind of focus from the Huskies, so when we have that, good things happen from them.
Yeah, if you take good 50s and put your car in the right place, all of a sudden you get, you're not taking a 50, you're getting a beat, you're getting a free touch, you're generating pressure, and those are the things that the Unicorns are doing. And it's just not as present. The Huskies really trying to play a little bit faster, play a little bit better, and try to get the Unicorns that way. And in some ways it's working. As Feiner up for this one, and unbelievable to find the finish on that one. That ball looked like it was very quickly heading away into the corner. Feiner grabs it, says no you don't, and tucks it inside that post. What a shot.
And that's what we're talking about, Blade. Those teamwork plays right there. A beautiful pass from Hayes. Feiner, a perfect place, a perfect opportunity to use those mechanics there to make it go in. And what should not really go in. And that's a fantastic shot from Hayes. Third defender says, oh, heck no, bruh. Ain't in my house. He sends it out. Hayes now is there. Mayhem, no boost, a little bit awkward. Timmy, boost and awkward, but it does get the clear. Feiner swooping in to grab boost and ball, going for it. He didn't get the flip reset, but Mayhem will have to clear this right into the loving arms of Hayes.
Oh, no.
But Timmy with the big 50 will clear that out. Will send that in. Mayhem with a little bit of the disrespect. Demo saying, hey, you can't save it, and I don't care. You're not going to be alive to watch this go in, feller.
You know, again,
the message
Timmy is doing nothing fancy, and that is why he's been succeeding. Like, look, he just takes good 50s. He just puts his car where he needs to. It's in that sense, it's almost he makes it look pretty easy sometimes. It's not always that easy, as evidenced by that by the Huskies just not being able to find that kind of play. But they're developing it, though. I do like what Hayes is doing. I think he's certainly a bit more patient, trying to read the play a little bit better that way, and it's working. As this is a nice save from Hayes, and Feiner trying to find the 50 through and can't. This one going back the other way. Feiner should just be able to tuck this one in and give them the lead, and it does. And that, like, I like this from the Huskies. They're keeping it simple through counter-attacking play and some longer shots. There's no need to rely on any kind of advanced mechanics when it's just block the ball, push it forward, find a shot.
Yeah, and I would even go as far as say that wasn't exactly just them keeping it simple, but Mayhem, I think, kind of over-performing, kind of. I like what he wanted to do there. He wanted to keep the pressure on. He wanted to not allow a counterattack by just keeping this Huskies team flopping around everywhere. But he kind of set up the own L on that play. However, Mayhem making up for it here, but did a fantastic job of getting that ball down to the field, getting it to his teammate Timmy. Timmy just being there, just going for a simple shot, beating up over the defender who's rushed back. I mean, it's just keep it simple, stupid has been working for this Unicorns team. And that's not saying what they're doing is simple and easy. It's just because the performer at this level, you have to be doing it well, but they have been just doing it very well.
Yeah, it's been certainly interesting, as that's a demo from Mayhem, and Feiner trying to get that one in, can't, and that's going to be a save from Hayes. But on that last one, I think it was Feiner who dove forward and missed, and then it was Hayes not long after also hard committing his second and diving forward that it just created this opening. And sure, I think it was Feiner who did get back, but certainly left them in an awkward place. That's a great bump out of Hayes on Timmy to stop this opportunity and allow Feiner to pop this to the other side. Hayes sending it up. It's going to be angled in the middle. Feiner dropping a soft one. This one's a little close. Demo from Mayhem onto Feiner. Hayes just going to sit and look for a 50 and does. Down to the final 20 seconds is Timmy. No boost. Ball on his car.
Beautiful.
And that ball off the post. Mayhem off to the side, down to the final 10 before we hit overtime. Huskies would love to win this in regulation, not have to sit, wait, and play for their lives in overtime. Mayhem can't find the touch. Hayes just gonna let it bounce. And the Huskies need to score.
Indeed, and I don't blame Hayes just letting it go into OT, letting it drop. At the same time, OTs have been scary, man. OTs have not gone into favor for this Huskies team. You had it all the way on your end with nobody challenging you. If you have the ability to, try and control it, I would say. That said, I don't have the ability, so I would have just let it drop as well. But
50?
this right here is setting up to be a good setup from the
touch.
Huskies, but it's a fantastic demo by Mayhem, giving Feiner a little bit of his own treatment. Now with a flip reset, but unable to get up to the ball. Timmy now collecting it, however, gets it past Hayes, but 50's the wall, and it does not go to favorable position, and that's solid defense from this Huskies team. Mayhem trying to buy some time for a teammate, but Huskies, like I said, very solid defense.
Yeah, it's really been some solid 50s out of Hayes. As this ball being sent forward for Hayes, and he can't find the angle on it, bounces off high into Mayhem, and Finer gonna meet Timmy at that ball, so Mayhem gonna be able to try to collect this one off the wall. A little bit awkward, just gonna leave it there, and Finer gonna send this one off to the sidewall, trying to get the bounce into the middle. Does, but Hayes has the demo. Timmy and Finer chasing this one down into the corner. No boost, and it's gonna be a shot. It's gonna be wide. Timmy not able to find it on the far side. Mayhem gonna send it back, looking for the bumps. It's tipped out, and so close, so close, so close for the Unicorns. Maybe another here, but Mayhem can't find the touches. Finer waiting for this one on the backboard. This one sent. Hayes with the clear. Finer getting this on the other way, and this one should be in, and it is. The Huskies are still alive, Galloway.
Huskies staying alive by playing solid defense.
That was the best minute and 40 of Rocket League I've seen them play.
I agree.
And now the Huskies are asking for a server reset.
Ugh! All right, get these nerds out of here. They know the drill. But, I mean, that was just a very solid game. I mean, the Huskies actually followed up with defense instead of going for a big risk and maybe no rewards. I love those plays in regulation. I love those plays when your life is not on the line here, Blade.
Yeah.
But I think they actually did learn that. Like you said, it's probably one of the best minute 40 we have seen from them. Huskies doing a fantastic job. That defense to keep it from being too scary. And they've won the first OT that they've had. Or they've won so far. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say, Blade.
I know exactly what you're trying to say, Mayhem. And for me, watching them, they kept it simple. They were patient. They did not rush themselves, and I think that is where the difference lies, is not rushing themselves, that they did not feel compelled to have to make a play, that they could wait for an opportunity, that the way that Finer scored, he just took a 50, the ball bounced into the middle, and the net was open. And I know open net shots are hard to hit, but he did. And that's what it just comes down to sometimes, is that you're just going to be in a situation where you've created for yourself where you are just needing to hit that shot, and he does that, and he keeps his team alive, and it's a fresh 5 minutes. And I mean, I know he doesn't want to go to overtime, he being Finer, but if that's how they're going to play during the game and into overtime, the Huskies certainly have a chance, certainly have an opportunity to bring this one to 7, and certainly have a chance to win if that's how they're going to play. I think if they want to get away from that play style, it's going to spell their doom incredibly quickly, as Finer, looking to start off the scoring, is not able.
Yeah, oh, what a beautiful shot there. Mayhem getting that ball up to Timmy. Timmy just throwing it into the net, and just right over Hayes' car. Hayes not recognizing the danger until it was too late, just unable to get it up in time. And that's a solid way to start this game off for the Unicorns. Game 6. It's just, at times I wasn't quite sure we were going to see a Game 6 played, but I inside of me, I want to see a Game 7 between these two teams. At the same time, I know that this Unicorns team does not want to see that, and they're very convincing.
Nobody who's actually playing wants a Game 7, Callum.
Well, the Huskies do right now.
Well, okay, in that sense, yes. But again, I'd have to say, though, if at the start of the series you'd ask, if it means you guys winning, do you want to play a Game 7, that they'd go, no, we'd like to win and not have to play 7 games. They're in a situation where they have to play 7 games to win. And I know that the Unicorns certainly don't want to play a 7th. We would love it for the content, but they're not here for the content. They are here to become champions. And, sometimes there's not always content there, but the way that these two teams have been playing and are continuing to play, I certainly think that we will get it, as Finer going to drive this one across. Can't get the boost, does get a demo, and Hayes picking up a demo, and there goes the Unicorn squad. So a little bit of room for Finer to make a play, and can't do a whole lot with it. And good follow from Hayes, but coming down on 3 minutes, and Huskies still looking for number 1.
Yeah, but that's good save there. But no, that bump there, Timmy will be able to just dribble it in.
No.
Mayhem opening his field up or not even opening the field up. It's only like 2 inches of the field used. But Mayhem still opening up those 2 inches just for Timmy to throw that in. And beautiful way to score. A little bit sloppy, a little bit rough and tumbly, but I am down for it. And what a great way to score a goal. Exactly.
Because don't get me wrong, pretty goals are great, but at the end of the day, they're numbers in a replay file. The number that matters is that goal. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just needs to go in the net, as Feiner does there. Not pretty, but the ball is in the net, and that's usually good enough. As Timmy getting a touch and finding it into the back of the net, and yeah, oh my goodness, Feiner saying, looking at his teammate, and Hayes is at 130 ping.
Ooh, I don't think the server reset helped them, but maybe it hurt them.
Yeah, and I have to say though, that is the double-edged sword of server resets, and to go through those, every team has a server reset and a 60-second timeout, and as we have gone, both teams have used their server reset, and the Huskies have called their timeout. The only other stoppage of play that we can have is if the Unicorns want to call a timeout. And I have to say, I think if the Huskies win this one, and this should be a goal for Feiner, it is, that I do expect the not the Huskies, I do expect the Unicorns to take a timeout if they do happen to lose this game.
I could easily see that, and I know exactly where you're coming from with that. However, at the same time, it would depend on how they lose this game. If they lose, if they barely lose this game, I could also see the Unicorns not going for that timeout because they've been playing extremely well. And if the Huskies win it, that'd be giving the Huskies more time to revel in their victory and to talk over what actually led to it being a victory in this game. I could see it being both ways, but Huskies going for a counter. Hayes going for the bump and play. Fantastic job, but Feiner unable to keep it down. Didn't have quite enough boost, I don't think, to really burrow that where he wanted to. But now Mayhem taking control. Can't get the control that he wanted. However, that might just be a counterattack.
It's over the head.
Hey, Timmy unable to quite get back in time. That is 3 goals in a row for this Huskies team.
Yeah, and it is. And Galloway, I'd have to say, counterpoint on why that they've called timeout. Timeouts aren't always tactical.
Yeah.
There are still people behind these cars with controllers in their hands, and adrenaline is certainly a thing. This is a high like anxiety moment. There is a lot of pressure here. It is the grand finals. You're going to game 7. You did so well getting yourself a 3-1 series lead. You have in this situation have potentially lost 2 very close games that you feel like you should have won, and now you're going to go into game 7 and you got to somehow find the win. You might be shaken. And sometimes it's nice to have a minute to just inhale, exhale. But Timmy doesn't need to. He's going to find the equalizer.
Exactly. And now he says, with there being less than a minute remaining, we're tied up. We don't want we don't want overtime. We want to go ahead and score it. Because OT is no longer an exclusive Unicorns game anymore. So they wouldn't win this regulation. Timmy B doing Timmy B things. Mayhem off that whiff is going to go for the double. Can't get the double, but Timmy's going to be there to throw that right in. And we have ourselves a lead. Only, I think, 10 to 11 seconds after that last one by Timmy. Great job of Mayhem. Couldn't quite get the double. And I'm so glad he did not touch that. But if he did, I'm not convinced with where he was coming from that he was going to score that. That's going to be awkward. So that worked out to a fantastic pass to Timmy. Sorry. And this is going to be an awkward kickoff if Mayhem can get there, but he can't quite in time. Feiner, fantastic control of getting that over him. And Blade, we have 30 seconds remaining, and as long as the Unicorns don't get in their own way, I think they're looking pretty good right now.
I think that they're looking great. They are winning. They have won 3 games, and there are about 10 seconds left. And they just need to not be scored on. If they can get another, that would be great. But coming down in the final 7 seconds, Hayes putting this one into the corner. They have to keep this ball up to keep their season alive.
Oh!
Putting the shot on Fighter should be able to get the touch, and he does. He scores it on 0, and we're going into overtime in Game 6. I don't believe it, Galloway.
Timmy, I don't blame you for going for it. If you stay back on defense, Finer's going to bump you. I don't blame you for going for it. You have to cut off the area, but Finer unable to get that on top of his car like he wanted to. Can't quite get that kickoff. We're now in counter kickoff. It will now be stalled out into just regular gameplay. A good set of defense for both these two teams. That's going to be a big 50, but nobody's going to be there to go for it. Mayhem's going to get demoed if he's not careful. He avoids getting demoed and gets the boost and gets the 50. Timmy going to use up all of his boosts to send that down. Going to try to chase it with no boost. Puts a little bit of pressure on it. Win the 50 against Finer, but couldn't quite win it. Mayhem, big risk, no reward. Huskies, Unicorns are now finding themselves in what led to the Huskies going down in this series. They are going for things impatiently, I feel like. And this is what is sending us to Game 7. The hard efforts of the Huskies to stay in the fight. And the Unicorns, I feel like, are feeling the pressure. They are feeling the strain of potentially throwing this away. And I think that's starting to beat to them mentally. I agree. At this point, timeout would be a benefit to probably both teams, but probably to the Unicorns the most. But they need to take that breather.
I think after a loss like that, where you are saying that you have scored 2 goals inside of the last minute, that you are up by, what was it? Yeah, they were up by 1. Yeah, they were up by 1 with 30 to go, and that you just have to hang on to win the title, and that you drop that on a 0-second goal to then follow that up with a loss in overtime. But as the time ticks down in the post-game lobby, I do not see anything coming from the side of the Unicorns. So it looks like that they are just going to play on, that they are just going to ride that loss. We're going to see Game 7. Galloway, I have no idea what's going to happen, but I'm glad that you're here to experience it with me.
Oh,
because we have had 4 overtimes in this series. And I think that we could find a 5th, but Timmy is going to find a way to score off of this kickoff. Unicorns 1-0.
1-0, 4 seconds elapsed. I mean, we've seen this before, though. I mean, Unicorns have been getting a lot of kickoff goals, and not always in a winning game either. So they can't rest upon having that early goal. They need to just keep compounding on to it. But a good bump there on Finer. Timmy now going to try to take this above Hayes, but won't have the boost to really do what he wants to. Control it. Mayhem going for a big 50. It works against the Unicorns as that does pinch into the other corner. Finer come flying in the end, trying to rush it before Timmy could be ready for it. Trying to catch him slacking, thinking he has it wide open. That's going to be a big 50 by Mayhem, but he's got no boost. Doesn't matter. It's able to get on the ground, get underneath it, and throw that in. Unicorns up by 2. A good start, but by no means is that an indicator to how this is going to go. But we have seen the Huskies eradicate a 2-goal lead before.
Yeah, we have, and that was Finer being a little aggressive, I'd say. This one should be a 3rd, and just like that, the Unicorns, I mean, up 3, and that's got to feel great. But there is 4:19 to go. There is so much game time left that I just hope really that the Huskies can get back into this one, because it could get ugly, but Finer can't find the flip reset over Timmy, as Hayes going to play this one into the corner, and 4th goal turned aside by Hayes as this ball rolls into the Unicorn half, sent high for a catch from Hayes, and a good 50 taken by Mayhem, who's going to try to let this one roll in and can't get it as Finer with a great catch with this one. Flick over, demo, score. These Finer's flicks have been on it. That's at least the second time this game that he's just had an absolute monster.
Exactly, and when he gets into a situation where he can use those mechanics and use them appropriately, that's huge for this offensive power of the team. And he take it away from his teammate Mayhem, which was a good call, but the second hesitation came from it. Gave the Huskies enough time on defense to really do what they need to do to make the defense happen. A good demo from Mayhem. He didn't get the boost, but he got the life, and then got his own boost on the way back. So a good little stall game. Ooh. Hayes, however, coming back in, throwing a dangerous one. Finer going in, which could be potentially a dangerous challenge. However, was good enough to really buy some time for a teammate to get back in position. No Unicorns counterattack. Great 50. Or Mayhem throwing that on target, but it does get saved away. Mayhem trying to throw that one on target, but Finer clearing that one away. Mayhem now last man on defense from the Finer man, but Finer unable to get it by him.
Oh my goodness, that was... I was watching Hayes, and the number of times Hayes was second with no boost diving in, I'm sitting here holding my breath. I can't imagine what it would be like having to try to make those plays. As we are approaching halftime in this final game, Unicorns still have that 2-goal lead. Huskies just trying to take a bite out of it. They can take another bite later if they would hope. Is Finer going to be able to turn this one aside, collects this to the sidewall, up with it, and trying to get it towards goal, loses track of it. Is Timmy going to try to bring this the other way? And that's a good pop. Mayhem is there, should be able to send it forward, and does. Finer just going to pop this back, and a little bit of lull in play is both teams just playing a little bit of volleyball towards the midfield. Is that so dangerous? And that's going to be in the net. Double commit. Both forward, both in the same spot.
Indeed, and that is not what you need to be doing here in Game 7, where everything's on line. It's a 3-goal lead, which is not by no means an easy win for the Unicorns, especially for the Husky team who's just so good on offense. But with time quickly fading away, Blade, you really do need it to you really do need to tighten this up, because now it's a 4-goal difference. The minute 35. I mean, it's doable from this Huskies team, but you don't want to be in a position where you have to do it.
Yeah, and I saw Hayes going forward, and I get the aggression. At the time of that play, you're down by 3. It's Game 7. You need to find a goal. I just think that was a little needlessly aggressive, and it bit them, and that deficit has gotten even bigger, and certainly not impossible, but has made it even harder, their journey back to this, and that overtime is starting to look like a pipe dream, that they have a lot of work to do. This time continually just ticks down and down and down, and they have less and less of it to work with. As they can find this one, which they will not. That is 60 seconds remaining in this game and in this series, if everything remains as it does.
Indeed, but with about 40 seconds remaining, just about down 4, it's looking like the Huskies are tightened up exactly what they needed to. Didn't need the timeout like we were potentially talking about. And like I said, it's very situational. If they're feeling it, if it depends on how they lose that Game 6, whether or not they should call it, they felt like they didn't need it. And big respect. That's going to be a great play. Timmy not quite able to get mid in time, and barely missing that. Gets demoed for it, but Mayhem able to turn around, stall the ball out. And this game is all but over. We are running a little bit late, but we will be taking time to interview this Unicorns team. So I'll let you carry this away while I get that set up.
Yeah, I am going to asked them for an interview. Is this ball going to go down? Finer going to send an own goal to give it to Timmy, getting credited, and that is the Unicorns taking Game 7 6-1, winning Expert League over the Huskies in a magnificent, glorious, back and forth 7-game series. This went the distance. We had overtime, we had blowouts. This series had everything, including a winner at the end. And
I hope I had a winner.
yeah, just look, I always hope that we have a winner too, because it's a very small possibility, Galloway. But there is a theoretical universe where we're still in overtime in game 1.
You know, you're absolutely wild for that because I wouldn't allow that. I would conveniently break the game somehow. But who cares about game 1? Who cares about games 2 through 6? Because in game 7, this Mayhem, this Timmy B Unicorns team have won it all. And almost Brazil. Guys, you couldn't give us a free trip after all this stress you gave us?
My bad. We're just trying to close it out. Play solid defense towards the end.
Okay, you know what? That's fair. That's fair.
Don't worry, game 8, we got you.
You know what? That's huge fair. Boys, first, I just want to say congratulations after almost allowing the Huskies to come back, but you didn't. You held strong. You pulled it together. You convinced us with that 6-1 Game 7. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.
There's Mayhem, who sounds like Mayhem typically. Then there's Timmy who's coming in here like, yeah, buddy, I'm happy to be here. This is why I love these two.
I gotta ask, why no timeout after game 6? Like, it's one thing if you just lose that. It's another that you go up ahead, give up a 0-second goal, lose in overtime. What were you guys talking about? What made you feel like you just didn't need an extra minute, that you guys were ready to go?
Mayhem, I'll take us. We literally didn't talk about anything. We just sat there and stared at our screen. We just knew we could win. So there was no point in taking a timeout. They did win it. They beat us in game 6, but like I felt like we had more momentum. We more beat ourselves in that game than they beat us. So
I mean, they certainly played well, but that's something I was telling Blade as well. It looked like y'all got ahead of yourselves, so y'all got frustrated and kind of played yourselves a little bit, which still kudos to them for being in that situation to put you there. But no, congrats, but good job on actually overcoming that. And I didn't mean to cut you off, Blade. Go right to it. I'm sorry.
So I guess I gotta ask is like what were the Huskies doing that got to you in games 5 and 6?
They were catching us out. We were both pushed way too far forward, and Finer being as fast as he is, just easily would just counterattack and leave wide open goals. They punished us really well for that.
I think a lot of it, like kind of tacking onto that, it had to do with me. I was feeling a little loose because in games 1 through 3, like I was like a little stuttery. Like my game was stuttery. That's why I asked for the reset. Then after that, my game felt smooth again, and I was just being a little more aggressive because I felt more confident. And I think it just honestly just buried us.
Gotcha. So game 7, talk to me here. When did you feel like you guys had it? Like was there a number of goals? 4 seconds in, I love that answer so much. Actually, that's the kind of confidence I love seeing in here. That's amazing.
Yeah, we Mayhem won the kickoff right off the wall. I beat Finer and just slammed it into the net. And I was like, "Yep, there's one. It's over."
I love it.
Galloway, you got anything more for these guys?
I got one all-important question. Guys, you've won the finals in Expert. I know y'all didn't do it alone, so I will give y'all the floor to call out to any of your teammates, any of your supporters. Just give any kind of shout-outs that you want to do. Remember, we are a family-friendly stream, but lay it on us. Whatever you want to say, this last bit, the floor is yours.
You want to go first, Timmy?
Sure. I mean, Mari, Austin, and Ant, are 3 teammates for the season, in and out of the lineup. Thank you to them. And, corn up.
First of all, yeah, shout out Mari. Put together a great team, put together a great organization. She didn't just build random teams. She built like a whole community of people that just enjoy being around each other and playing the game. And it's been a lot of fun being on the Unicorns this season. Shout out Timmy, Ant, and Mari as my teammates this season, and Austin for subbing up. They all helped us out so much with scrims, being there, supporting. One non-unicorn to shout out is the GOAT Oscar himself. He is in the Unicorns after every match, supporting every team. Doesn't matter which league it is. He's always been there to be kind and say good words.
Love that. So I will take the floor back. You guys mentioned a fantastic name that I was sent a DM during this series to wish Austin actually a happy 15th birthday. He got a tricycle from Jeff, his father. That is all I have in the message. I just needed to pass that along. I was looking for an in. I appreciate you guys for giving that to me. But a great series all around. Was a lot of fun to watch. Hopefully it was fun for you guys to play in. But we are going to take a break. We will be back. I think it is 9:30.
Nope, we do have the Star Leagues. They have confirmed that they can make it.
Okay, so we will actually be playing a series right after this. So I'm sure that we will go to break, be back soon, and we will be playing Starly.
Indeed, don't want to miss it, so come right back. Or stay, actually. By the time I can find the right stream, it's going to... Please come on back.
I'm cold steel stainless. My glass half full. Always said don't suffer no fools. Serpents daydream. I bite, you call me lovely. Got a sweet tooth. Gonna get the sugar from you. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon.
everybody, and welcome back to Frontier Doubles League. We have our second match of the night in the Star League between the Penguins and the Dragons. I am Mia, and I am joined in the booth by Professor Freak. Professor, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing fantastic. Really excited about this matchup. You have one of the undefeated teams here that made it all the way to the Star League Finals in the Dragons, and I'm just really excited to see how this match is going to play out.
Yeah, I am certainly excited too, as a member of the Adept Dragons team, who we went out in the semifinals. It's nice to see other teams in the franchise have make it so far, and especially the Star team that is certainly has been absolutely exceptional, being undefeated. But yes, this will be a 7-game series, and those Dragons will need to find 4, and if they cannot find 4, it will be the Penguins who will find 4. And fun Penguins fact is that among all of the franchises, is the Dragons going to put one on the board, Moto finding one, that the Penguins are the only team not named the Dragons, Huskies, or Unicorns who have made a grand final this season.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. We unfortunately couldn't do it for the Penguins and Expert, but yeah, hoping that the Star League Penguins can bring one home for the franchise. But yeah, really excited for a good match. Some really mechanical players like Light getting a flip reset, and we've got some fireworks early, Mia.
Yes, we do, and I mean, looking at the names in this lobby, with the Penguins with Light and Shade, I know exactly what I'm getting out of those two when they are in a lobby, and it's going to be a fireworks show. Same with Moto and Tunlink, that this is going to be a fun series. Everybody's going to need to be buckled in, ready to go. Is Tunlink going to pop this one? Light getting to it as he puts it into the corner. Can't find the follow-up touch. Moto going to back off and let Shade send it into the corner. Can't find this touch. Shade not able to get that as Light on the wall, into the middle. Light up, putting a shot on, gets it around Moto, and gives the Penguins a lead after that early goal out of the Dragons.
Yeah, that's a great shot by I thought Moto would have been able to get that save. Maybe just Light hit that ball so fast, but it's an early lead that is definitely going to bode well for the Penguins, putting pressure on this Dragons team. But we've also seen from a lot of series that this Dragons team does not give up easily and can come back. So we have a lot of great Rocket League to see.
Yeah, we certainly do. Is Light not able to find that one? Moto being able to put it to the side, and Tunlink grabbing that boost, forcing Moto back post to grab a little bit more. But he doesn't need a whole lot, and he actually does find that under the Penguins' defense and into the back of their net. I didn't even try for any boost. He just went up and got it around Shade, couldn't flip in time, and just inside that post to tie it up. And we are a little over a minute in with the tied game. I mean, Professor, I gotta say, after the series we had in the prior game with 4 overtimes and a 7-game thriller, that stayed real close. If this one's staying close, I don't know. Do you think we could get some kind of a repeat? Is nice shot, but post twice is all Light can find out of it. What do you think for this series? Do you think we're gonna get a good one? Think it's gonna go 7?
I think we should get a good one again, though. It's depends on how well the players can manage their fatigue, because playing a long 7-game series is really tough. Tough to maintain that mental focus the entire time. And if one team is not able to, and this looks like it'd be another goal saved by Gamer Shade. But yeah, I mean, both of these teams look very sharp thus far. The offenses are on point. So I'm very excited to see if this series will go to Game 7.
Part of me hopes it goes to Game 7, as a viewer, but then another part of me is Dragons in 4. Dragons in 4. And I know probably deep down you want the inverse of that. You want Penguins in 4, but I think a good middle ground would be we don't know who's gonna win until somebody scores in a Game 7 OT, as we pine away for what this series could become, as these guys try to create it as this ball up the wall. Shade backing off from this one. Light gonna try to collect this, sends it forward, and Tunlink popping this one up, and Light there to gonna try to get back to it. Shade has this one, doesn't have a double follow-up shot wide. Tunlink, not a lot of boost. Just trying to flip forward, does find some, might be able to cut an angle, try to find a 50, and that 50 just a little wide.
Yeah, play seems to have, the scoring seems to have slowed down a bit. Both teams may be settling a little bit defensively. Haven't seen a lot of physical play come in yet. I expect we'll see that more as the series goes on. That really is such a good way to get in the other player's head. Maybe a little bit of a dangerous touch there, but Light was able to handle that. Getting a reset on the ball for good measure. Second one. But maybe it doesn't. Oh, Gamer should be able to get there. He's able to throw that ball into the side. Gonna try and pass out to Light. Light reads it. Does get that down towards the Dragon's half. The ton is there. Plenty of boost. Light able to intercept, but doesn't have the boost to follow that. Yeah, Mia, it seems like both teams are, after the initial flurry, they're defending well. They're not getting caught in awkward positions, and they're not letting in some of the easy goals that were happening earlier in the match.
Yes, there's Light trying to find one and cannot. Yeah, we're down under a minute. That flurry of goals at the start of the game has certainly quieted down. Light getting a double flip reset, maybe has a shot here and holds off. He's going to get this one. Another flip potentially, but Moto clearing it out, and Tunling, good 50. Light going to grab the boost, get back to this ball, send it high in the corner. Tunling, not a lot of boost, very awkward, able to push it across his Shade, not pressing too hard on that. That's forward, and Light into the corner, down under 30 seconds to go, and we are still tied, and Light just gonna get it off those flips.
I mean, the fact that he didn't have full boost when he took off with us and still made it near the entire length of the field, that's how you want to start a series like this, making a statement. And it will be interesting to see how the Dragons respond if they know that Light is on. I'm guessing we'll see a lot of demos and attention paid to him, and they get another one very quickly. That is going to be tough to come back from in this game with 17 seconds. Certainly doable, Mia, but very hard to come back from.
It's never impossible, but it's highly improbable. If they can get a kickoff goal here, then we can talk about it. But otherwise, this is a game that is gonna go to the Penguins as Light looking for some more fun resets. I believe he was looking to try to get a Mac Tough, if I'm not mistaken, but could not find it. This ball off the post, sent out wide. Moto gonna keep this one up with no boost. Ceiling pinches it down to the far side of the field. It will fall. The Penguins take game one and move themselves one step closer to a victory.
Yeah, it was a close series overall. I mean, Penguins didn't really open up that lead until the last minute of play. So I definitely think the Dragons can bring this one back. And I expect we'll see some adjustments because it looks like Light is very solid mechanically right now, and the Dragons will need to pay more attention, maybe change up how early they're challenging him.
Yeah, they're going to need to challenge him as soon as he's near the ball. If his mechanics are going to be like that, it could be a really long night for the Dragons, especially if they're going to give him the room and the respect to do those kinds of things. Like, that's the entire reason why the Dragons gave up a third goal, was Light was able to get out, flip, reset himself over everybody and find it in. Like, Light scored all 4 goals for the Penguins in that game. Like, if they can figure out a way to shut down Light, that not that Shade is a nobody, but...
And so I actually, I casted these teams playing earlier in the season when the Dragons did win that series. And I remember at the time, I mean, Light similarly played really well. Light disconnected.
Yep, and that's okay. That if Light disconnected, we can restart. That is within restart protocols. So we are going to leave the lobby, reform it, and get back and try game 2 over again. But as we discussed the first game, it's really I feel like I still feel like, though, for the Dragons, if you shut down Light, you still have to deal with Shade, and that's not necessarily easy either. It's just that Light is feeling it.
Yeah, I think, I feel like the first time they played, Light was Light. He was very solid mechanically, but we saw solid team play between the Dragons, and I think that was part of how they won that series. So I wonder if we're going to see more of an emphasis on infield passing, on the type of team demo plays that really put them in a favorable position. So I am excited to always see how teams adjust because the mark of a good team isn't winning all your games. It's how you make adjustments when you lose.
Yeah, as I'm looking at this list, it seems like we are one person short currently. I think that we are. Yes, there we are.
There's
We have been
Moto.
down Moto, so we'll get these guys joined up, get game 2 going. Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how the Dragons want to approach this, and I certainly would like to see where Shade is at tonight mechanically too. If they do shut down Light as he gets the double and puts a shot on, and Shade with the push is able to get this one across the line from Light's just fantastic mechanical ability.
Yeah, I mean, that double reset that he's able to get there, and he's so threatening, and that's where, Shade could come up with a lot of goals because of how threatening Light looks, that he's just able to kind of be the unnoticed one, sort of being camouflaged by Light's ability. Light trying to hit this ball center, does get that ball centered, but Tun does pinch that out pretty effectively. Trying to hit that ball back center, but Tun gets a favorable 50. Surprising miss there by Light, maybe a bit of an awkward bounce, but he's got the boost, taking his time, does get the effective clear. Maybe Gamer was a miss coming in from Moto. Gamer is in a good spot, but he decides not to go for that shot. Light is there to intercept in midfield, but no boost to go for the double. Gamer does beat him though, and that ball, Light is gonna cheat and
Light steals it anyway.
Light is like, hey, I know you got one goal. I need this next one.
Yeah. Yeah, fair is fair, I'd say. Shade certainly did push that first one in, but was got 99% of the way there by Light, so just getting a repayment, but I don't think either of them are truly too concerned with who puts the ball in the net, just assuring that that ball does make it into the net, and as we have passed through the first minute, Penguins up to Dragons really looking. It seemed like that the Dragons were a bit more present in the first game, and they haven't felt that way in this one. It really has looked like the Penguins have been getting back to it as a skim touch from Moto cannot find its way into an open net. It's a very tough shot to hit. Light going forward, trying to find the bump, and Shade going to be able to push this one in, and the Penguins starting to run away with this one.
Yeah, Light able to get ahead, realize Shade's got it, goes ahead for the demo, doesn't get it, but does disrupt the Moto enough for his teammate to be able to put that in. And yeah, a lot of pressure being piled on by the Penguins early. We're not even halfway through this match, so if you're a Dragons fan, like the good news about that is there is still a lot of time left in this game, a lot of time to make adjustments. And I think the Dragons just need to relax a little bit, maybe adjust to this Penguins pressure that they're seeing. But certainly a lot of offense coming out of the Penguins.
Yeah, a lot of offense, a lot of mechanics, and they have been giving Light a lot of room. Doesn't have a flip there and misses out of Shade and Tunloink. So Light has us one spot, his teammate, and Tun able to send this one off to the side where Moto just going to try to send one on target. Easily kicked aside by Shade. No boost to be found. Moto retreats. Tun up. Ball softly over the top of goal. Not too much of a threat, though, as Moto does put this one back out into a little bit of danger. Light able to bring it out very gracefully and get this ball down into the other half. And this one chipped out in front, and that's so tough. Light, great job to read that one to put it in. And 4-0 now to the Penguins, and it is... Oof. For the Dragons. Yeah.
That's an unfortunate misplay by Moto. He doesn't intend to get that touch there, but sometimes you just have games like this, and again, that the Dragons will need to show some mental toughness to come back from this. There's another unfortunate miss. And me, I feel like the way this is going, do you think the Dragons should be calling a timeout after this game if they don't turn things around?
I'm going to say this. Not that I don't think that obviously they should keep playing through the rest of this game, and it is possible to come back, and if they get there, great, but otherwise, this can be a little bit of a timeout here that you guys, you could take a minute and talk, and that there's still 90 seconds left in the game to play, that you don't necessarily need to burn that resource. But yeah, when you're down 2-0, that is usually a spot that I would probably call a timeout, as a sixth is put up on the board by the Penguins. That is now Light's third to go along with Shade's 3, as Light declares that the most free goal steal. So I really think that I think that you maybe use this chance to talk things over, so that way, going into game 3, that if game 3 also goes poorly, you can have a timeout there if that one ends up being a bit more competitive.
Yeah, I think a lot of it could be figuring out strategy, because as of right now, it's just looking like the Dragons seem a little bit lost. Again, it's clearly not the touch. Moto wants that ball to roll up so he can collect that, but things just do not seem to be going their way. So, at this point, just even focusing on, hey, for the last minute and 30 seconds of this game, we want to imagine it's 0-0 and we can win that. Just anything to get the momentum, your mental game. A miss from Light on an open net, but he really did try to hit that ball hard. Gonna hit that to the side, but Ton is there. Great demo coming in from Gamer. Able to keep that pressure. We haven't seen a ton of demo plays thus far, but when you're up by 7 goals to throw one in, that stings, man.
Penguins have been beating the Dragons with speed. There really hasn't been a lot of need for demos, because the positioning and the speed has been getting them the things that they've been needing. And yes, there have been some bumps here and some bumps there, and that's a goal for Moto to bring us to Brazil. So it is good to see the Dragons on the board. But for the Penguins, it's not a matter of I don't think that they could be physical. They just haven't needed to be. And I feel like that if there is a situation where they are going to need to be physical, that this team can be physical very easily. But now with a minute, they've at least found a goal, so that they know that this team is human, that they can be scored on. And do you think that they've maybe figured a bit more out, as a forward pass does not find anybody, but Tunloink is the giver and receiver of that one?
The thought I'm having is Moto kind of played that shot a little slower. And here, a great demo play coming in from the Dragons. Moto hitting that to the side, able to go in and get the demo. And it could actually be, when you're consistently getting outpaced to the ball, actually slowing down a little bit, especially offensively, that just throws the other team out of their rhythm. And maybe that is how the Dragons need to respond, keep the Penguins on the back foot. But they are definitely putting up much more offense in this last minute or so of play. Moto trying to get that ball center, not able to. Though both Penguins are on the corner. Light is able to pinch that to relative safety. Gamer is following that one out and gets a decent 50, but Moto is there at midfield to step back. And at this point, not much that the Dragons could do to win this game, but a dangerous shot almost goes in. So we see signs of life here at the end of this game. It definitely looks like the Dragons have the ability to score on this Penguins team. They just were really caught off guard earlier in this game.
Yeah. The look that they gave us towards the end, I feel, is more so what we're going to expect from them in game 3, that it got away from them early, and it just kept getting further and further and further away. And games are like that sometimes. No timeouts in the chat. So yeah, I don't think that they're going to use one. I feel like if there is another game lost to the Penguins, the Dragons have to come out with a timeout, especially if it's going to be any kind of loss like this. Maybe something closer. You could see them not using one. but this was a thorough demolishing and dismantling, and I think that phraseology should be playing into how the Dragons approach the next game in looking to be more physical, looking to find some demos. It's great that Light's hitting flip resets, but do you know how you prevent Light from hitting flip resets? If you keep sending him back to the side of his goal with 33 boost.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
very, very hard to hit flip resets from there.
I think also just focusing on clean Rocket League, because I think at least 3 of those goals came off of an unforced misplay. And I get it. This is extremely high intensity. This is grand finals. You're on stream. You are the undefeated team that has led Star League all season. There's unfortunately a lot of pressure on the Dragons. There's a lot of pressure, I think, in being the team that's kind of expected to win. And so maybe they're starting to hit their stride now. Got Ton and Light going for that. That 50 or that kickoff does look favorable for the Penguins, but that is well cleared by Ton. Gamer going to look to grab the boost and collect. Light comes in to maybe help get that out of there faster. Going to look to make a play. It's a very favorable 50 despite low boost, and is going to steal the corner boost from the Dragons. Does get 50 though. Gamer getting back should be able to defend, and Light wins that race too. The Penguins back boost, but both Penguins are up. Moto is there, but it doesn't matter. Ton is there. And there is a misplay, Mia, from the Penguins. One of the first that we've really seen in this series.
Yeah, that was both Shade and Light going for that one. Neither of them finding anything but air, and Ton finding all of that ball into the back of the net. This is exactly the start that you're looking for the Dragons, is getting to play with a lead, certainly a bit more comfortable, and certainly garnering a little bit more space out of the Penguins, though, is Light going to turn off and let Moto put this one in. So it's also allowing them to generate some pressure as both of them go again, and Moto's putting this one into the wall, and Shade popping this one for Light to pop it up again, as Light going to take this one, send it towards the net, and Ton with it into the corner. And I like the aggressiveness out of the Dragons too. Is that one that's a little bit rough. Light maybe has a chance the other way here and decides to slow this one down.
Yeah, dangerous opportunity here when Light's on the ball like this.
Oh.
And a beautiful double from a very tight angle. Just the fact that he's able to start so slow, slowly dribble that over Moto, and then hit the tight angle shot. This is what's going to be hard, is when you fight hard for that lead, and then the Penguins, off of a Light solo play, are able to come back. But
yeah,
does seem like the comms with the Penguins might be a little off. We've seen a couple double commits, and here we have a kickoff goal immediately in response. You've got to feel good if you're the Dragons getting that right in response to the Light's goal.
Yeah, it's a great angle, great play. It's real nice, and especially coming off of a play from Light that is exactly as what we would anticipate from him in this series. Highly mechanical, as Tunlink beating out Light to that ball, putting it in the mid, and Moto going to be able to tuck that one into the corner, and just like that, the Dragons have a bit of a lead. They're finding their way through. It's nothing fancy. Put the ball in front, smack it in. Don't need no mechanics to do that. But I still have to say, though, they just need to get up and contest. Like, they cannot give him space on the ball. It feels like he's just going to slow it down and give himself the room if they just leave him. That they just have to be on him constantly.
Yeah, absolutely. A good opportunity for him here. Oh, great save coming in from Ton. But, something else I'm noticing, me, is that I feel like the Penguins might need to be careful about their kickoffs. There have been 2 goals thus far that have happened off of kickoffs where they're getting beat on the cheat. So either you're not cheating hard enough, or you maybe need to play it a little bit more cautiously. So we'll see if they make that adjustment. That is, if we get another kickoff. There's a lot of defensive play. Gamer is able to keep that out. Light comes in and gets that ball clear. Now he's got an opportunity in the ball. Doesn't really have enough boost to do anything, but he always does look so threatening. If you don't know his boost total, you're convinced he's going for a flip reset.
Oh, of course. It's at this point, it's how you have to. It's how you have to really look at Light, is that he's going to be mechanical until he's proven not to go for that mechanic. You just have to assume he's coming off and trying for something, that he's not just gonna make a basic play, but maybe that's his long game here, is that he's just going to gain that respect to be able to have that's an incredible save off of the narrow angle shot from Tunlink and able to keep that one out. Moto, little flip reset, gets it into the corner, has this ball up. Great job catching it. Fantastic air dribble, trying to get it to the net, and Shade turning this one aside. But the 2-goal lead for the Dragons is still present, and the pressure is still there. They look so much better. Is that one, Moto, a little bit slow to it? But the overall, the team's still looking better, and that's really all you can ask for, is just looking a little bit better than they did last game.
Yeah, they're looking much more controlled with the ball.
Goodness.
Light almost gets that in. Gamer is going to put that in. So that's, again, a great setup based on Light's solo play. Again, so threatening in midair. But yeah, overall, you have to give credit to the Dragons for the way that they've played. A lot more collected, a lot more in sync, less mistakes, and they've punished the Penguins for their mistakes.
Yeah, and it's tough. It's Light being given room to do Light things like this. Like, he's not being challenged. Like, it's free play. It's free play.
Yeah, that's a very awkward angle. Moto doesn't have enough boost. And then I think Tun is just thinking he's not going to be able to dribble this into the top corner behind me. And sure enough, does air dribble there. So a couple of strong solo plays have put the Penguins back even. Light is hitting that ball into there, is able to steal the boost. Light is still lingering around. 50 kind of goes in the Dragons' favor, but Penguins are keeping the pressure on. Gamer not able to get back around it, but Light is lurking and he's dangerous. Good save by Moto with very low boost. But these Penguins are piling on the pressure right now. That ball's on target. Another good save by Moto. Mia, this is a great defensive stand we're seeing right here from the Dragons.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. They just need to remember their spacing. I saw both of them get into the corner there. It's a little hairy as Moto near side on this one, but does find a good 50, but Light up for this one. Trying to bring this ball back towards the Dragon net, and Tunlink able to get a clear Shade off to the corner with a Ton with 45 in his tank. Gotta send this one mid. Light doesn't have the touch, but Moto doesn't have the angle. Does have the boost though. Has it off the wall. Nice little 50, but Shade is there to knock this one back into the Dragons' half, down under 30 seconds to go. Still tied up. Moto, not a great bounce off the wall, has it around one. Light, only one to beat though, but wait so long. Shade able to get back.
Yeah, definitely that was what seemed like a good opportunity, but maybe it was Moto just a little bit reluctant to pull the trigger. Felt like Light was in a favorable spot to defend, but I can understand being cautious. You do not want to give him an opportunity to counterattack, but on 0 seconds, we are going to our first overtime, Mia.
Yeah, the 50s at the end there from Moto were incredible to put us into overtime, as that one was almost an own goal from Shade. Shade, everybody. Just good he didn't. Light demoed Moto.
Oh,
that's room
a
and a great ball from
phenomenal
Ton.
play.
He's just got to get it there faster with the 50. That ball's still free. Ton has it, and he shoots it. He scores 20 seconds into overtime. The Dragons find their fourth. They find the win. This series is tied.
Yeah, that was I believe that was Ton that got the demo on Light and the bump on Shade, and that was the play that set it up. You got Light that was able to come back but used up all his boost, and actually I think the fact that he didn't demo Shade made it more effective, because if he demoed he would have respawned. But that a very close game, and I'd say for the first time you have the Dragons leading in like the shooting stat. But really very close. I mean, I could see this game as going either way, Mia.
Yes, and I, in my excitement, thought that they were tied. The Dragons are still down 2-1. My apologies in my excitement. They have to win another one before I can get that excited. But it's a good turnaround. This is what you need. You have the win. You're not down 3-0. There's still time in this series, and as Light loses connection, so hopefully he'll be back before we get this next match going. We will be waiting for him. Okay, actually,
we have a timeout
coming in from the Penguins, a late one. So that one will get get started here. Is their 60-second timeout going to be commencing?
Part of me wonders with Light going, and maybe he's feeling like there's internet issues.
Mhm.
Reset the router, anything. I feel like if you're in this stage, anything that you think gives you some sort of boost of confidence is worth doing.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to take the break, and I mean, having the extra minute, yeah, it's good. Yeah, if you need to reset the router, go do that. Hopefully it's not a larger issue, because the lost connection tells me that could be something something a bit more, that may have been a router or something. So hopefully the internet issues or whatever they may be aren't too bad, and we get light back soon. But it does provide a bit of an extended break for the Penguins, but also for the Dragons, who can talk things over. And I think that hopefully this timeout's over all right.
We
Yeah,
all
we are
right.
still
We're still waiting on Light
without.
to come back
Yeah,
in.
yeah. So I guess that we will have to wait on that. Off the top of my head, I am not familiar with the protocol in a situation where a player has disconnected outside of a game and is not able to get back. And
Checking if the server
yeah,
reset is needed. And yeah, we did get confirmation from Gamer that Light is experiencing internet issues.
all right.
That's
And they have called for a server reset. This gets them a little bit of time to hopefully have this figured out. Yeah, I do not know what the full protocol is if they cannot get him in here. I would hope, if anything, that there would be a substitute available, because this is exactly what a sub is designed for.
yes, and that would be the bummer of all bummers if that were to happen to the Penguins. But yes, unfortunately, not all ISPs are equal. Some Comcast are not very good. um,
You don't got to tell me twice.
Unfortunately, if you're like me, there's literally nothing else available in my area, so you are subject
Oh,
to
you
that.
only have Comcast? I'm so sorry for you.
Yes, yes. AT&T has fiber, but like only 2 blocks away from my house, so
Hmm.
therefore I can't get it.
Yeah, so therefore fiber doesn't exist. Okay, the
Exactly.
matches is back up.
But you
I
would never know it because they send me flyers all the time asking me to sign up for their fiber internet, which is,
Mhm.
I think
Of
it's
course.
a little bit of a low blow.
Yeah, it is, but that's what we expect from ISPs. Do we expect them to be upstanding and good and nice to us? Like no, this is Comcast we're talking about. This is
I mean,
Verizon we're talking about.
if you've seen me play, you know I do need something to blame my poor play on. So
Yeah, I have to say I've gotten to the point where I don't even blame myself. I just blame the fact that my fingers can't do what my brain tells it to. It's not my fault. It's my body's fault.
exactly, right? It's the wiring. It's the nerves that like clearly I meant to flip reset double on that play, but I didn't do it.
Exactly. It's always not my fault when I mess up. I always
Exactly.
intend to hit clips, and I just, I just don't. Just happens.
And that is the
We
top tip about why you never play ones because you cannot blame your teammate.
Mhm. And that's why I don't play ones.
All right, waiting on these players. So we've got Moto and Ton back in.
Mhm.
Waiting again. Hopefully, we have Gamer. We do not
Yeah,
have Light.
Shade is back. So we have one. Um Yeah, this is one where I wish I
Okay,
had he's back.
he's
Okay, so
back.
he should be in here shortly. That will be good. Because this has been a little bit of a delay, certainly. Yes,
And
and
there
there he
he
is.
is.
He is back. And we'll get these guys in here, get this one started. So for the Penguins, sadly that costs them both a server reset and their timeout. So they have no more stoppages that they are allowed to apply, because that is also how server resets and timeouts can be used. You don't have to do anything tactical. I have seen them be called for bathroom breaks even. It's just when you need an extra minute or so of time to do whatever it is you need to do. In this case, it was Light probably yelling at his router to turn back on and to not do that in the middle of his grand finals. And it was nice enough to oblige him in that. Is into game 4 we are, 40 seconds in, no goals to be had, and a little bit of back and forth as Moto just trying to find a play, and Light bringing it out the other way with a good clear from Ton.
Yeah, that ball bouncing there, and definitely, surprising play on defense. I'm not sure where Light was. I thought he would have gotten back, but maybe just didn't have enough boost, because he was way out of the play on that one. And that's a first goal that you don't want to give up on an uncontested net if you are the Penguins. Now here we've got Moto, and is Light still having issues? He is not playing, and he lost connection. Oh, this is very unfortunate for the Penguins. This is not how you want this series to go. So if he
And
cannot get his connection to maintain it, at what point, Mia, do you think they pull on a sub?
I would hope that you are messaging your sub right now, because at this point, the way that rules are written, as Moto going to put in another one, rightfully so, is that the only way that a game can be paused to be restarted is if it is within the first minute of the game, which we are outside of, and there have been no goals scored. So as soon as a goal was scored, this match was ineligible to be reset. So this is sadly a 2v1 for Moto and Ton on Shade. He's going to have to do his best to minimize the damage, because if I am the Dragons, I am trying to score as much as I can, because Light is a very scary player and he'd do the flip reset.
Counter theory: if this game is unwinnable, the more goals could be advantageous because it makes the game take longer. So
that's also a fair play.
For Light to go out and buy a new Ethernet cable, maybe. I would leave no stone unturned if I were trying to win this series. But also, I'm sure the Penguins are working on getting a potential sub. This is definitely not how they would have wanted to see the series go, especially the way that it started out. And I'd have to admit, even though I am on the Penguins franchise and am biased, I would just be disappointed for the lack of the series we might miss out on if Light's not able to get back in here.
Yeah, it'll. It's always tough when this happens. We seem to have entered a bit of a stalemate. It really seems like with a 4-0 lead that the Dragons are feeling pretty comfortable with that, and just happy to maintain pressure, keep Shade in his own half. They don't seem too worried about scoring, but they do find a fifth here, 2:41 to go. Really, I think that I would say at this point, whether or not Light comes back in this game, I do think that the Dragons are probably fine on scoring and could just really work on running the clock out. That there's nothing more that you need, and as tough as that is to say, is that that you don't need to score 10 goals, 15 goals. You'd like to move on to the next game. So
I mean, if you're playing for the win, you're trying to get time moved on as fast as possible.
Of course.
But I have to imagine too, these Dragons are good competitors. They probably don't want to win like this. They would want Light to come back in the game, because I think there would be something a little disappointing about winning a grand finals and winning the league because the other team had their best player disconnect. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, you wanna win because you beat Light, not because Light's internet beat Light.
And he's back.
Yes, he is back. The wonderful, the mechanical, the man of the hour, Light is back in the lobby, trying to find a goal for his team, and he does with the help of a bump from Shade. So Penguins on the board. 96 seconds to go. It is a long road back, but not impossible.
Yes, definitely a lot to come back. I think the thing I would worry about is Light is, this has got to be so frustrating. And again, this is such a mentally demanding game, but there we go. We have 2 goals in quick successions. And some people get so angry that they play better. And maybe Light happens to be one of those where he says, in spite of my internet, I will win this come heck or high water.
Yeah. Yeah, as we have a little bit here from the Dragons of not being sure if Light was allowed to return, that they didn't want to run the score up too much, but that is always in a situation like this, that is the balance that you need to find, is that you can put in 15 goals. It is you could, but the Dragons decided to stop at 5, and Light has come back with a vengeance and has put up a hat trick in 26 seconds?
Yeah, I was going to say less than 30 seconds.
So at this rate, by about the 50-second mark at this pace, we can expect this to be a 5-5 game. So we'll see if that will hold, though. Moto going to put this one off. Light is there. It's a lot of boost trying to turn on this one. Gets beat. Ball the other way. Ton not going to be able to get to this one on the ground. Does find it on the air. Sends it off. Moto up. Has the beat. That one's high, but has the double.
Very nice shot there from Moto coming in. Gets the beat over Gamer and able to recover to hit that double, and Light not expecting him to get it. And that is how you shut down that momentum that the Penguins were starting to build, because that would have been a huge confidence boost to come back from a disconnect and even tie the game up.
Yeah, it was looking so scary. I was just like, wait, they've scored the 3, and here we go. Like, it's still not over. Like, it is so
Gamers,
so on edge.
I can hit bangers too, and he comes right back and hits one. And I feel this is the thing that the Penguins have to take away from this. It's like, hey, when Light's not having internet issues, we are in this series. We are dangerous, and just keep playing the way they're playing.
Yeah, it's a matter of hanging on. They got the goals. They just need to finish it out. This one turned aside, tunneling. Remember, you do not need to score. You just need to kill time. Put that ball into that Penguins half. Kill some time. Find some demos. Just play keep away, as we're now down in the final 10 seconds, but that doesn't mean anything to Light as he stops that one. But that's a good clear from Moto, and that should be it. And it is Dragons tying up this series. It was a little bit of technical interference and things, but a win is a win is a win. And
yeah, likely not how they expected to tie the series, but a tied series nonetheless.
Yeah. So going forward on this one, though, I have to say, the way that Light came back and the way that he scored those goals, he looked better almost. Like, it just, I don't know, he just came back like he hasn't missed a beat. Like, he's been fidgeting with his internet for the past 5-10-ish minutes, and then just comes back in and is like, I'll just flip reset on all of you.
Yeah, it really seems to have piqued his focus, his attention. Again, it can be kind of a double-edged sword, because we saw in Game 3 especially more double commits. I think Light was really feeling himself, but maybe going for some things that Gamer wasn't expecting him to. So I feel like as long as he keeps that in relative check, he just might be so motivated by bad internet that he's popping off even more in these last few games.
I would too, considering it's like if you don't know when you're actually going to be able to play and your internet's going to crash out on you, you gotta ball it up while you're there. You gotta find some goals and give your teammate a fighting chance, and that's all you can do. Is I am now dealing with latency variation and high ping, but I have a decent excuse in that the weather outside is not good.
And you're not playing, so
That's and that's the great part too, is that I only have to be able to see what's going on, and I have to be able to talk. And shallow angle shot from Moto, not going to be able to find its way in. These kind of missed shots, it always makes me wonder at the end of the game, like, is that going to have been an issue, and Light the other way going to be able to find the first one off of what felt like it should have been a Dragon's goal.
Yeah, that's a good counterattack. Moto not reading that, maybe thinking Gamer was going to go for the follow-up on that rebound, Light putting it home. And you've got to feel good if you're the Penguins, the way that you battled back last game, and now you have a lead in Game 5. They're obviously looking to build on it. Maybe not the best touch there, as a very favorable 50. That could just be rolling straight in. It's not, but Moto's going to put it in. And like that, Mia, we're back to a tied game.
Yeah, as great demo from Ton, as well as Moto assuring that ball goes in. Did a great job approaching it slowly to make sure that they get the right hit. You don't need to rush that ball. There were no Penguins around to stop it, as this one off the wall, but Shade has no boost, so Moto going to pop this one back to Tunlink. Not the greatest recovery on the wall. Light has the ball, and it's kicked away from him, but with speed to the corner where he can pick up the 100, sends it off the wall, sees Shade, but gets a flip reset, pops it, and Ton able to get a clear. And Shade, getting back to this one, had that flip as nice little play. Both of the Dragons right there. Nobody challenging, nobody up to go against Light, though, as Ton does clear this one, grabs the boost, takes a 50, and that ball up in the air. Moto going to back off, but nobody went. Ton up, nobody there, and this one's just going to be off the post. And then it's going to be high. Ton to be careful. 29 boost. They need a clear. They get one. That's up. Light has it. Oh, that should have been one for the Penguins.
Yeah, that was a great opportunity for the Penguins. They're going to be regretting missing that one. Another opportunity. So Penguins have had some great opportunities just off. They've got to clean up that accuracy if they're going to beat a team like the Dragons. We're definitely, though, seeing more bumps and demos, physical play coming in. And just missing a narrow, seemed like an opportunity for the Dragons. Shade on 0 boost, not able to do much, not able to get the 50. Light is hanging back to be cautious, but kind of hits that ball to Moto. Actually, that's a great doink there by Shade, able to get that ball a little bit more safety. Should be enough time. He's going for the double. Nearly has it. Mia, I think that's at least 3 or 4 times this match that the Penguins have hit the crossbar of the post.
Yeah, and that's tough, especially for how well they've been playing. That it's been that close. Just it seems like anytime that the Penguins are up in the air, the Dragons are fully grounded. Just watching to a degree, it almost brings the energy of like you see a freestyler clip, and it's like that they've clipped on some not so great players. Not saying that the Dragons aren't great, but they sit in net and they wait, and they're very patient with it, and sometimes it doesn't always seem intentional, but for the time being they're getting away with it. And to a degree, that's all that matters, is Moto finding the 50 that he needs. This ball just ricocheting back and forth as Light going to try to collect this one. He misses, and Tunlink diving, can't find it. Shade has a touch, and Moto getting a beat. No boost, though. Needs to try to find it in the middle. Has the pass. Tunlink shot, scores! And the Dragons take the lead.
And I'm looking at it, and I've been wondering a bit, just based on some of the misses that he's just recently had, and Light's ping is spiking again.
Oh, yes, it is. That is...
I think we're seeing the side effects of that, because those are a couple of very uncharacteristic misses from him. And again, if you're the Penguins, you need his internet to hold up, because Shade's done an admirable job of playing 2v1, but it's not a winning situation.
No, it is... For how these leagues are structured, it is impossible to 2v1. Just the quality of talent that your opponents are going to have is going to be roughly around what you are at, but instead of just one, there would be two of them. And when it comes to the grand finals, the talent doesn't get much better than this. These are the two best teams in the league. Is the demo coming in, but the ball not able to find the angle, and down to the final 60 seconds, Tunlink able to get the clear, able to get the skim over the top. Light trying to chase this one down. Tunlink getting the boost. It's there. Light has nothing, but Tun can't find the finish, and Moto finds a 50 as the Penguins are scrambling in their corner.
Yeah, this is a tight passage of play. They're maybe scrambling a little too much. But this could be a good opportunity. Not able to score, but does get a demo. And this potentially puts the Dragons in an awkward spot. Ooh. But again, the early challenge, shutting down those aerial plays, that has been key for Dragons to do, and that could be directly on net. Shade is there to save that. And this is do or die time right here. You need to get the ball in the net as soon as possible. And I don't know if they're going to do it, Mia.
No, down to the final 5 seconds. Light has this ball, full tank of boost, going to the ceiling with it. Has it around, he got it there, but Shade able to keep this one up, but he has nothing. Light, most of a tank, can't have it there. Ton with the pop. Moto just needs to get a clear. They just need this ball on the ground. All the boost expended out of that tank. Light keeping this one up. Shade over to the side. Moto doesn't need to move. He doesn't. The ball drops. The Dragons lead this series.
Yeah, 3-2, and if you're the Penguins, this is a really frustrating situation because Light yielded a goal when he started lagging. So unfortunate. The players are bantering back and forth, but unfortunately, yes, the internet gods are not smiling on the Penguins right now. But nonetheless, I mean, we have a really close series. This is really going either way. Even with the Penguins internet holding up, it's not a guarantee. This can easily go one way or the other.
Yeah, and I think that's why these two teams are in the finals, that they have the capability of doing that. Now, whether they are playing at their capability in the finals is, always to be seen. But it looks like we got two teams who are playing near the top of their game, and that's really all you can ask for in the finals. And it just shows the parity in the league and just how solid these teams are. That the Dragons aren't going to come away with an easy one if they're going to find a win, and it's going to be tough. And I really do hate though that it feels like that the biggest factor for Light is going to be the internet, and if it can be stable, and that if it's stable, I really have to say that it's going to be looking better.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that's another disconnect.
Yep.
I don't think he's completely disconnected, but his ping is spiking.
Yep. Yeah, as he being Light is blinking like a Christmas tree in the scoreboard. So Dragons take a 1-0 lead as Shade gonna try to progress this ball, find something, and there goes Light. It is really, I have to say, you hate to see this, and Dragons gonna put another one in, and it is tough, and to see some things, Tinori, that the server reset has been called for the Penguins, but it is also too late to stop this game either. It would be up to the Dragons to call a server reset or a timeout, of which they still have both. So at this point, it is really up to the Dragons and how sporting that they would like to be. In that they are up 2-0, that they can score freely if they would like, and I have a feeling though that they would much prefer to keep a smaller lead and allow Light to be back and win it that way. I don't think that they would like to win it this way. It certainly feels unsavory.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You want to be able to say you beat your opponent at their best, not when they literally weren't able to get into the match. So It's
Oh,
his internet is out.
yeah.
So we basically have a forfeit then from the Penguins. Looks
Yeah.
like that is a frustrating way, but you know, credit to the Dragons
Yep.
for having better internet. First off, second, I mean they definitely made it to series before even before Light was having issues. They made it to series, so this was as good as things were going to be.
Yeah, and that's what I think that's what really sucks so much is Light was playing so well, and that has to be so frustrating too, is that it was creating such a good series, and that for it to be entirely thrown off because of a player's internet, that it is tough that it is won in this manner. I mean, I'm sure that they're pretty happy with this.
Yeah,
It's as far as you get the win, it's not how you'd want to get it, but at the same time, it's not like the Dragons chose for Light to have these problems. Not that Light was choosing it for himself, but you can only work with what is put in front of you, and what the Dragons was put in front of them was a couple of 2-on-1 opportunities where they scored, and uh, and that's really it. I mean, they just happen to be the other team, as they have now decided to sit on top of each other. That it
yeah,
is.
I'm sure these guys. I mean, you've obviously got to give credit to them. They completed the perfect season. This isn't
Mhm.
necessarily how they would have wanted to do it, but they
No.
still had a perfect season. So
Yep.
it's not as if these guys skated through. They were the top team in the Star League the
Mhm.
entire season. So it's a well deserved win, regardless of the circumstances
Yeah.
for how they played this season, but I am sure they did not want to attend. But speaking of, how did you guys manage to sacrifice Lights Internet? What was the plan there?
Well, we sacrificed Motos for game two, and that was that was pretty bad. But you know what? It paid off.
The
You
internet
know.
got really compensated there with karma.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I have to say. I want to say you're welcome. My adept team died for this. That is what I'm going to go with. Is that my adept team sacrifice is what allowed you guys to have this opportunity to win. You're welcome, but yeah, and the expert, yes, but honestly, congratulations, guys. I know that this probably isn't the way that you would have liked to have won it, but it is the way that you have won it, and there's not much else to that. But I mean, how you guys feeling?
I mean, even though the finals game was pretty scuffed, I mean, we also got to look back and say that we were undefeated all the way through.
Mhm.
So that's at
Yeah,
least one thing we can take.
yeah, that's not something that happens often in FDL. Is that an undefeated team uh, in the regular season then makes it and wins the finals? So you guys obviously had a great season. Um, I guess how do you guys feel with the finals ending this way? Is there disappointment, relief? What's going through your heads?
It's pretty unfortunate that it had to end like this. It was kind of funny at first when we realized, oh, both star players of each team are lagging to no
Mhm.
end. But I do wish that we got to like play the whole thing out because it was gonna be a really good series.
Yeah, it definitely seemed to have that, and that was kind of what we were guessing is that you guys much would have rather beaten them with both teams having optimal internet.
Yeah, I mean, there's a storm going on here, so that's probably what's attributing. Because we were gonna actually push it back based on the storm where I'm at, but it passed. It might be where Light is. I don't know where he lives, obviously, but it could be attributing to that.
Yeah, and unfortunate that potential weather interferences can do that to a series. And I mean, since there were kind of so many things that, uh, what was your guys' plan for Light? I mean, when he was there, was that you guys were giving him so much space, so much time, and he was absolutely decimating you guys. Like, what was your thought process on tackling that problem?
Not doing that, but it was a lot harder because there were a lot of times where we would say we have to not give him any time in the air, but
Mhm.
the issue is he would do it so fast that we couldn't even get a chance to go. There were a lot of times
Yeah.
that especially like on kickoffs where he was able to get boost faster than me or Tun, who was second man, and we just couldn't do anything. We just had to watch and wait for him to get close to us.
Hmm.
And I mean, truthfully, if Light was able to play that whole series without lagging, I think that probably would have gone game 7 at least. Because, I mean, he individually is insane, and
Yeah.
him and Shade makes it work so well.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I have to say, Professor, do you have any more questions for these guys?
No, it just kind of, you guys obviously had like one of the best seasons. What do you think was the secret sauce that made your season so successful?
Uh,
That's a
we
good
don't know.
question. Yeah, I don't know.
Dang it! I'm trying to take notes. I'm trying to figure out how to replicate.
I don't know. Honestly, like going into the season, I was one of the last picked, and I didn't expect us to do nearly as well as we did. All my previous seasons were kind of like, oh, 4-6, 6-4, 5-5, like stuff like that, like pretty
Hmm.
average. But I mean, this season, Moto, Ward, and we all just clicked so well, like from the beginning. So I think it was just super fortunate that we all immediately had a bunch of chemistry with the way we all play together.
It's true. I know
Yeah.
FDR has an ABC system, but I truthfully think that our team just had A players all the way around because, I
Hmm.
mean, undefeated all the way through. I mean, we all played, so
Yeah.
our team just was very consistent throughout.
Yeah, that you guys were. And I mean, Professor, if you do not have any more questions, I would like to open the floor up to you two, give you guys a chance to talk about something that you would like to talk about, shout people out, say some thank yous. The floor is yours. We are on stream. Be kind, be polite, but say your piece.
I don't have to shout out anybody at the current moment. I don't have
Okay,
anyone to
cool.
thank.
You're also allowed to just not say anything too. Like you don't have to talk. If you guys don't have anything to say, that's totally fine. We can go out, but so is that what we got? We don't got nothing to say? All right.
No,
Do you got anything?
no, we're
No?
good.
Okay, cool. Sorry, Bill. I'm not going to make them speak. We're going to get out of here so we can come back with our Elite League finals, where you will see, believe it or not, the Unicorns taking on the Huskies. But this time it's Elite League. But that does wrap it up for Star League. Dragons are your champions, taking the series over the Penguins 4-2. My name is Mia. I was joined in this series by Professor Farik. We thank you for joining. Sit tight as we get back to our last series. Bye.
Go on, myself. I'm cold, steel stainless. My glass half full. Always said, don't suffer no fools. Serpent, daydream. I bite, you call me lovely. Got a sweet tooth. Gonna get the sugar from you. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon. I can be a weapon. Come cold blood, selfish. Your words are painless. I like when I drive and feel so dangerous. They say I'm a red flag 'cause they want it so bad. You should know I'm holding on to what I have. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be
Good evening, FDL. My name is Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. We are bringing you the final matchup for Saturday night. It is Huskies versus Unicorns in the Elite League. This is for all the marbles, the big championship game. I am in the booth here with Clover. Clover, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Bill, and I gotta say I'm super excited for our finals for our Elite League. We've got our Huskies versus Unicorns tonight, and I want to hear what you got to say about these teams.
Yeah, I mean, uh, anyone that watches FDL this season especially knows, I mean, Huskies are a perennial great team. Huskies and Unicorns, franchise top to bottom, has been phenomenal this season. We've seen them in other finals already. Both these teams are top of their conference. They are as good as it gets. So I think that, and we're talking about Elite League here. So these are the absolute top performers in FDL period. Anyone watching tonight is in for a phenomenal match. I bet it's going to be a neck and neck sweaty affair. And I think it's just about time for us to get underway here.
100%. Let's get these guys in here and let's get these games rolling. And with our Huskies team, we've got Poofy and Noah. Pretty decent players, I would say. And then on the other team, we're seeing Unicorns, Caden, and Elite.
Yeah, absolutely. Poofy, one of the highest salary players, takes the initial face-off there. As Caden pushes it up on the wall. Poofy goes for a little bit of a weird challenge there. Gets it, but Elite able to put it back. Goes for a waterfall. Caden trying to carry it around. Noah and Poofy in a rough defensive position, and Elite gets the bar down off of Caden's little touch. 17 seconds in, Unicorns take that 1-0 lead.
Yeah, just too awkward here from the Huskies. Not a lot of boost to hold their defense down, and our Unicorns will be ending up taking that first goal. 4 minutes 40 seconds left on the clock. Caden with the save, trying to get it past Poofy. Can't quite find the touch. Caden takes a challenge on Poofy, but Poofy getting the better 50. Elite trying to get a flick over Noah. Noah getting the better 50 though. Caden with a clear out to the side. Poofy going in for the challenge, can't quite find it. Elite chasing this ball down. Gets that corner boost from our Huskies side. Caden sending it to the back wall. Elite not finding the double. Poofy now going for an aerial play. Messes up his flip. Can he recover? He can. Gets a shot on net. Ooh, it's not close enough though.
This has been a so far, I mean, we're only a minute in, but it's a little bit slower than I'm used to with Elite. And I've specifically, I mean, I've casted this Huskies team before, and this is it's a real feeling out period. I think both teams really understand what's on the line, and especially Huskies, giving up that early one, are playing a really slow, tight game now, trying to really dictate play. See how that works out for them. Poofy bumps Elite and tries to get it up, but doesn't. Throws it out on the wall for Noah. Take a little bit of a 50. Goes for a second one, gets a whiff, but does get a bump on Elite. Nothing able to come from that. Elite and Poofy carry back. Poofy pushes Elite there with a pinch, but it gets 50'd out to the far wall. Caden puts it on for Elite, trying to go for a second one and throws it up. Noah almost took that as a pass, but gave it up to Poofy instead. Carries it in, ties it up.
Gotta say, well played here from our Huskies team. Noah leaving that ball. I'm quite surprised, actually. He looked very committed to it, but saw that Poofy had the boost to put that in the net. Wide open, no reason.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter at a certain point, you know. If you got two guys up there past the D like they both were, you know, whoever wants it gets it. Respect to Noah for giving Poofy one of the Elite League's leading goal scorers this season. First of the finals for the Huskies.
Elite now taking it off the wall. Tries to send it mid. Noah's there on the backboard. Trying to get a pop. Pops it up to himself on the wall. Trying to just stay close to this ball, but throws it away. Caden now in possession. Tries to get a little bit of a pinch. Pass to himself. Trying to get that mid boost. Gets bumped for it though. Poofy stealing all of the boost from our Caden here. Elite trying to find a 50 on Poofy. Poofy sending it forward straight to Caden. Caden putting a shot on net. Noah with the save. Caden finally finding some boost in his tank. Now Poofy taking his time, trying to find a good 50. Trying to find a good opportunity. Finds it. Noah now. Getting a little bit beat there. Poofy.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, can't get the touch he needs to get that away from Elite's hands, and he will put that in for gold 2 to our Unicorns.
That's a tough one, because, you wouldn't be wrong in thinking a player like Poofy is a little bit maybe playing with his food there, trying to psych him out in the corner, but just cannot get the handle, cannot get the control he needs, and loses the tie game there as a result. As he does go in for another pass, and he slams it home. What a goal there from Poofy, second of the night. Ties it up with 2 minutes left. God, that's good. Caden's so close, did everything right, but Poofy just thunders that home.
Very well played there from Poofy, getting it over first man and then dunking the second man. And I got to say, that was a very well played goal there. Very smart. But Noah going for an eligible bump, will find it. Poofy not quite able to find the rebound. Caden doesn't have a lot of boost, sends it up to the back wall. Noah, a little bit of a redirect touch to send it back into Unicorn's defensive. Poofy, a little bit of a 50. Can't find a follow, but Elite finds a clear. Poofy now, clearing this out to his sidewall. Noah off the wall, trying to get controlled touches here, gets a reset. Never mind. Leaves it for Poofy. Poofy up to the corner. Poofy going for the Doomsday Dish. Can't find it. Elite will find a save. Noah will be there to put that one in. And that's a little bit of an awkward ball there.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. You see in the replay, Elite's on the front post. Caden's kind of ball chasing from behind, and they both collide a little bit. Fire the ball up to the ceiling, but gets both Unicorns out of the net there and lets Huskies take a late lead here. See if the Unicorns can tie it up or if it's going to have to go to game 2, and it might be that way. Huskies now a 4-2 lead with another goal from Noah there, a long-range one. Just gets it past both Caden and Elite. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication on who's back checking there on the Unicorns.
Yeah, and it's looking, we have just barely less than a minute left, and our Huskies with a 2-goal lead. It's going to be a little difficult for our Unicorns here, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, they can maybe find that magic they found early on, because they did take a 2-goal lead, and just when I'm saying it, Caden gets on the board. That was a real nice toss in there from Elite, and way to go, Caden, reading the moment. You're down 2, you got less than a minute, and overplay. Neither you have boost, whatever. Sometimes you just got to go for it. It drives me crazy watching teams down hard get passive in the last 60. So I love seeing that. As Elite tries to tap it up here, but Poofy gets a 50 that pushes out, and Noah puts it on. Poofy tries to finish, but doesn't. Gets it doinked out on the far post. Noah redirects, puts it towards Caden, able to throw it down, tries to stay with it. Poofy just enough speed to beat him out. Caden, neither of them get it. Elite there to finish it up, and Caden puts it in and ties it up with 10 seconds left. 2 goals apiece from all 4 players now.
Wow. 10 seconds left. That's a big accomplishment there. 4-4. I'm kind of curious. A little bit of a better kickoff there from our Huskies. However, Caden hitting a little bit of a beat on Poofy. That ball is just going to be floating across the map here. Elite sends it to the corner. Tries to find the second touch, and will on 0 seconds. Game 1 to our Unicorns.
Oh my goodness. What a play from Elite there. Way to just stay with it. Absolutely nothing in the tank and roofs it. Unbelievable. What a win for the Unicorns. I mean, I think a minute and 1 second, I don't know, chat can keep me honest, but I think I maybe said the Unicorns are out of this one. and to look to the next game. So way to shut me up. What an unbelievable last minute there. 60 seconds for 3 goals. What a win from the Unicorns. This is just phenomenal Rocket League to start this series.
Oh yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree more. And I gotta say, with that last play, it looked like Elite was going to go for that corner boost, saw that he was beating out Noah, and was able to just put that one right in there.
Yeah, both teams, it's good that you call that out. Both teams, to me, have been incredible in this first match at adjustments. And I mean, we're talking about Elite League, so of course, these guys are reading it at a much higher level than my first round exit adept but is. But the speed at which they can see something changing and just be right on top of it. Both teams scored that way. I think you called it out a little bit when Noah pulled off and let Poofy get that goal, and then Elite in the end there, just unbelievable reads, phenomenal Rocket League. If they all go that way, this is going to be the series of the season, in my opinion.
And I gotta say, oh, wait a second. Off the rip, we've got Caden. Pass out to the Elite. Elite with the catch. Gonna have to find a flick. Can't find it over Noah. Caden sending it mid. And we're seeing a little bit of what we saw first game is our Huskies don't have a whole lot of boost to work with on defense, but Noah finds the corner boost and the mid boost. Has the ball. Chose to go for a little 50. Poofy to the post there. And then Noah reading that pretty well, I would say, to be there in that position.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a phenomenal. And you can see in the replay there, jumping up, turning in midair to get the position to flip into that shot. Perfect placement. Great play across the board from Noah. Well-deserved lead from the Huskies here. We'll see how the Unicorns answer. Noah tries to throw it on. Elite gets it over to Caden, who's battling with Noah in the corner. Back out to Elite, who's going to stay with it. Doesn't do much with it. Gets it towards the wall. A bit of an ugly double, and this is going to be an easy goal for Noah. 2 goals now in the first minute for the Huskies.
Yeah, a little bit of a double commit there from our Unicorns. Looks like Caden was trying to get the bump to give Elite the open net, but unfortunately too close to that wall to find a double. Now we've got Caden versus Poofy on this kickoff. Elite jumping up for it. Noah getting the beat on him. Noah gets that corner boost. It won't be very helpful. Except Elite with the clear. Poofy sending it to the back wall. Elite finding a little bit of an awkward touch, but Caden sends it to Elite. Trying to get a good clear, but Noah's there to read it. Elite, he's really trying to push this ball out. Can't find it. Can't find what he needs. Noah sends it to the back wall. It's going to be a little awkward for Elite. Gets a save, though. 0 boost.
Save.
Bill, what did we just witness?
That was unbelievable. I mean, I for sure count another bad read from Bill. I was certain that was about to be 3-0 Huskies. What a play from Elite to get down there and just read that. Not an easy read, not easy placement. Phenomenal speed, phenomenal game sense to sort of slow things down and control it that seamlessly. Elite, in Elite League, believe it or not, bit of an elite player. Oh, so we got a big demo there. Noah on Elite. Noah gonna try to carry it over, popping it up on the wall. Caden under the ball there. Elite going on the goal. Goes up, gets a 50 with Noah. Caden and Poofy get another 50 in the air. Elite goes and controls it. Poofy almost steals it, dropping down from Elite, but he's able to carry it around. Pushes it into the corner. Poofy with an easy push out. Elite's gonna follow that. Take some time to get some boost, and then push it to the far side across the middle. A little bit dangerous. Poofy and Noah able to steal that. Poofy puts it on the backboard. Easy one for Elite. He's gonna put it up in Caden's hands, who's dodging that demo from Poofy and is not able to dodge it. Big demo there from Poofy. Really physical so far from the Huskies, but does that matter? It does not. Elite, like I said, pretty elite.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of a friendly fire as well from the Huskies here. Unfortunately, giving up that goal and a little bit of a panic on defense. Poofy getting the better kickoff on this. Poofy finds a bump on Elite, and Noah able to sink that one in. Well played here from our Huskies team. Great bump from Poofy and a good shot. Good placement from Noah.
That's tough. And You were right about the previous goal, and I've seen it a lot so far in the first half of this game. Lots of double commits from both teams, and I think both teams are scoring on the back of those. Big Temo off the kickoff. Unicorns trying to get a little cute with it. Elite knocking it over. Poofy gets an easy carry, pushes that up. Caden able to corral and follow it up. Can't do much with it, but they fake him out. Elite comes in. Big fake. Caden able to knock that down to the corner. We got 1:52 left and a 1-goal game.
I mean, if we know anything about our unicorns here, as we saw from last game, 3-2. Come on. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Poofy. Trying to get a touch. Sends it to the side. Elite is there, though. Caden trying to find the pass. Noah finding the clear. Noah with a little bit of boost. Trying to find that mid pass to Poofy, but can't find it. Now Poofy takes a 50 on Elite. Ball rolling over the net. Caden with the clear. Sends it up to the side, but straight to Noah. Elite now trying to gain this possession. Caden trying to take a little bit of a dribble here. It's a little awkward on Poofy. Elite with the shot. Can't find it. Caden now trying to take this ball back, trying to stay in as much possession as they can because they know how dangerous our Huskies team is. Caden, a little bit of a messed up wave dash, will get the boost. Elite with a big flick. Poofy going up for a double. Will find it right behind Caden, and that is a very well-placed shot.
Good lord. Poofy in the green berets, the way he's sniping that. That's incredible. Be that high, get that kind of angle. That's and to get the opportunity to do it at all against players this skilled, that is a phenomenal goal.
Ooh, perfect. Poofy with the early challenge. Noah with the shot. Elite, no boost. Can't find a save. 5-2 to our Huskies team. Gotta say, this is a little bit of a reverse of last game.
A little bit. Though it's sort of it's probably a little bit how the Huskies thought it was going to go, and they were leading 4-2. But again, I just watched the Unicorns score 3 goals in like 50 seconds, so I'm not discounting this being an OT game. But the Huskies are certainly turning it up and taking really good advantage of every opportunity that the Unicorns are giving them. It's going to take a tighter game than I think we've seen from the Unicorns so far here to get the edge fully in this series. But we know they have it in them. Game 1 was an incredible finish. We got 15 seconds left, down 3. I think it is safe to say, unfortunately, for the Unicorns. Fortunately for the Huskies and everyone that wants to watch more of this phenomenal 2's Rocket League. We're going to go into Game 3 tied 1-1. Oh, that was a heavy match from the Huskies. They were all over the Unicorns. What do you think, in your mind, what's the number one thing Unicorns can do to bring back some of that late Game 1 magic?
I mean, to be honest, I think positioning, really, because we saw in one of those plays how you were saying Caden was chasing the ball a little bit and kind of left himself in a bad position with Elite. I think if they fixed their defense a little bit of rotation and positioning, then things would go a lot better. As well as our Huskies team, I want to say, was kind of really just hardcore chasing them, and it really worked. It kind of threw them into very awkward positions, and the Unicorns, I don't know really what you would do about that except for chase harder.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like one of the things that we saw, you're absolutely right about that, and I think that the big comeback in Game 1 was driven in no small part because they were playing smart and waiting for the Huskies to do that kind of like 2-man insta challenge behavior and play strategically, get it past them, and get, in some cases, some easy goals. I think that's going to be a big element of them trying to recover from a bit of a bruising there in Game 2, as we are going now in number 3. We've got Caden and Noah going in the corner. Elite able to get that off of Noah, pushes it down away from Poofy and starts the carry out, tosses it over to Caden, who's going to pop it up, try to get a stuff, but does not. Poofy puts that towards the net. Elite able to get there, is given a little bit of space, gets 50'd with Poofy. Noah carries it up towards the wall. Caden there to 50 and wins the 50. Poofy pushes it over to Caden, who throws it over the back wall. Elite gets it off of Poofy, trying to control it in the Unicorns, and big 50 from Noah towards, able to corral that. And we have Elite coming in. I am getting a little bit of a lag spike, and I'm going to hand the play-by-play over to you for a second.
Elite now. Elite taking the possession. Gets a flick over Noah. Trying to beat out Poopy. Oh, I did it again. Anyways, Noah going up for the shot. Can't find it.
His fault for the name. He knows. He knows what he did.
Caden can't find the shot. Noah with the save. Noah not quite able to find a good touch over Elite. Elite getting the touch over Poofy. However, Caden taking the shot will find it to bring us 1-0 to our Unicorns team with 3 minutes 31 seconds left.
Yeah,
it's looking like their strategy's working.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was such a good zero angle shot. Those can be so stressful. You know, got the daylight, but that kind of angle is real tough. Great read on the part of Caden there. Bad hands? I do not think so.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Elite with a snipe.
This is a rapid fire full scoring that we were missing from Unicorns in game 2. Phenomenal pass play there. Great read off one another. That's a group that's really, really in sync, and that's exactly what you're going to need to be in order to beat players like Poofy and Noah.
Yeah. Ooh. Big demo coming out of Noah. Caden finding the better 50 on Poofy. Noah taking it to his back wall, trying to find it over to Poofy. Will find it. Poofy with the catch. Noah going in for a demo. Can't find it. Caden with a great challenge there. Noah. Will he be able to get back? Poofy with a demo. Noah with a big little save there. And Caden trying to pass it out mid. No teammate to be found, though. He's kind of just trying to stay on this ball, trying to buy his teammate a little bit of time to get up. Poofy now trying to get a flick. Will find it over Elite. Caden trying to get a good clear. However, Poofy off the wall will find the shot with no boost.
What a shot. That is absolutely bananas. Phenomenal. I mean, how do you even, what play do you run to prevent that? That's crazy.
But one thing I'm noticing, sorry,
go ahead.
One thing I'm noticing from our Unicorns team is they're kind of throwing possession a little bit when they do have it. That's a big bump. Oh,
what a save from Elite. My goodness. Goal line. Unbelievable. Wow. That was almost brought it all the way back there, Elite. That was fantastic. So close to tying it up. Able to shut that down. Phenomenal save. Poofy flicks it over. Noah not able to get there before Caden. Pushes it forward for Elite, who's looking a little low. Oh, Caden spawns right in front of it. Lucky Poofy a little too hard on it, not able to make a play happen. They might get one here. They do. Noah pops that up off of Poofy's pass and ties it up. It's been a pretty consistent stream of Huskies pressure the last little bit here. Unicorns need to defuse that. We got another fake kickoff. Tosses it over to Elite. Caden pushes it up for Elite one more time, who throws it onto the backboard. Noah able to get that. Oh, Caden went in close, but not able to do anything with it. Noah throwing it deep into the Unicorn's end. Caden able to get control off the wall, flicks it up, but Poofy's there to steal it, throws it back in. Noah hovering for the shot, not able to do much with it, knocks it down for Elite, who comes up. Caden goes for the shot and misses it after a big demo from Elite. A great chance to take the lead as we come into the final minute here. Oh, and Noah steals it off Elite, tries to carry it down, just goes wide. Noah 50 on Caden, pushing it over. The pressure from the Huskies has just been unreal here, but the Unicorns are not breaking. Noah pushing it forward, gets a flick up. Easy for Elite. This is high intensity Rocket League right now.
Poofy sends it to the corner, trying to find a touch over Elite. Will find it, but won't find a pass to the net. Caden now trying to find a Cookser pinch. Will pass it a little bit mid for Poofy, and Poofy just sinking that one in. That's very unfortunate from Caden. And as I was saying earlier, our Unicorns kind of just throwing possession a little bit. Kind of just getting hard touches that they don't want.
Yeah, and then both of them playing up there a little bit, especially, you know, I'll keep saying it, when you're playing someone as good as Poofy, you can't not expect them to pull possession off you, to get something going. Is just such a strong and talented player, so you can't give them those opportunities. And there you see it again. 2 seconds left. I think it's fair to call this one for the Huskies. So Huskies will take a 2-1 series lead on the back of a hat trick performance from Poofy. Going into game 4 now, and just a reminder for everyone watching at home, this is a 7-game series, not the usual best of 5 we're playing in the regular season. So there's a lot more Rocket League left to go, no matter how the cookie crumbles. You know, we talked a little bit about what the Unicorns could do. What do you think they did right that was different that game, and what do you think they did wrong?
From our Unicorns team, right?
Yeah, because because what if we're going to talk about the Huskies, they're just, it's relentless pressure and some unbelievably nutty goals. But
I gotta say,
I'm curious right now how we, stretch this series out a little bit.
I'm thinking Unicorns. I've said it, I think, twice now. Just possession is the biggest thing, because they get hard touches that aren't really helping them. And in the first game, we were seeing hard touches to each other, and it's kind of fading away. We're not seeing that as much, and that could be a really big deciding factor. And as we've seen, it cost them 4 goals. I mean, that's just the little things, you know. It'll really bite you if you really just throw the ball away, and we're seeing that really pay out here. But knowing our Unicorns, I know that they can really fix their strategies here and really get things locked in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they've given up a pretty huge imbalance of shots every game, including games they won. So, it'll be about making those shots count and continuing to play some really strong defense in the times in between. As Elite goes and pops it up in the middle here to carry it in and doesn't quite get it. Oh, Caden throws it out. What's a little bit dangerous. Poofy not able to get there, though. Caden goes for the carry, pops it up. Noah taps it off them. Elite going in for the challenge on Noah, pushing it into the middle. Poofy goes up and misses it. Caden with a tough angle, almost gets it, puts it back towards, gets it up on the crossbar, but Poofy able to get the save and the clear, gets it back on goal. Caden and Elite both there, able to pop that up. Elite and Noah 50ing off in the Unicorns corner. Noah puts that towards, and Caden just did Caden just whiff? That's a tough one. That is a tough one and a big goal for Noah.
Yeah, Caden caught a little too far outside the net. Will cost them that goal, which is very unfortunate. But Poofy, Caden on this kickoff. Caden grabbing that mid boost from Noah. Noah just trying to find a touch to make it a little awkward. Elite missing the ball. Caden pop up to himself, going for a little bit of an air dribble here. Goes for a reset. Will find it. Can't find the double. Elite not quite able to find the beat on Noah. Now Noah, a little bit of a ground pinch to himself. Can't find another's touch, but will leave it for Poofy after a demo on Caden. Elite pushing this one upfield. Noah trying to find a clear out to the side. Poofy finding that ball. Can't find a pinch. Caden getting a beat over Noah. Now Poofy a little awkward in the midfield. Elite can't find the shot. Noah will be there for the save. Caden trying to keep this ball in play. However, Poofy will block him off. Elite, big 50. Caden popped to himself. Goes for the ceiling. Can't find the double. Poofy will be there for the clear. And Unicorns are really looking a lot better right now, I gotta say. We're seeing a lot better plays come out of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've locked it down as much as they can, and that, first goal is an unfortunate situation, but they're keeping the tempo up, which you really don't want to go down 3-1 in a series like this. We'll see if they can make it count as Noah pushes it forward. Elite is there to get it past Noah. Goes up on the wall, but Poofy's going to be able to defuse that. Gives it right back to Elite, who's able to get an easy roller in and tie it up. What a play from Elite to just stay with that, read it, play it smart, and gets a nice, easy goal to tie it up just past the halfway mark of Game 4 here. Noah and Elite take the kickoff. Poofy gonna play this off the wall. Caden there for the 50. Poofy throwing it in front of the Unicorns net, and Elite whiffs it. Poofy turning around is able to get there and get it in. That is unfortunate for the Unicorns, and they had a goal with a kind of similar problem earlier. That's just two really unfortunate situations at this point in the series.
Noah Elite on the kickoff, sending it back right to Caden. Caden finding a reset. Can't find the touch over Poofy. Elite popping this one out mid. Going for another touch. However, Poofy getting the better 50. Poofy finds a flick. Will it find the net? Unfortunately, it won't, but Caden pop up to himself yet again. Finds a little bit of a better 50 on Noah. Poofy a little awkward on the back wall. Caden banging that one out a little too far for Elite to catch. Poofy with the cookser pinch will find the goal. And to bring it 3-1, that is a very well-played goal there from Poofy.
Yeah, that's as close to it as you're going to get for one of those pinches. That's flawless. That's so hard to defend. And that's one of so many goals from a phenomenal performance from obviously one of the absolute top players in FDL, Poofy. Kind of capping a season off right now with a phenomenal outing. And almost every goal is highlight reel stuff here. As Caden takes that, controls it, gets some boost, goes up in the air with it. Elite there, almost gets it, but Poofy able to push it on. It goes for a bump that they don't get. Noah pushes it on to Elite, grabs it and gets it. A 50 at midfield, which pops it out for Caden, who gets demoed by Noah. Poofy now controlling. Noah challenging Elite. Poofy gets it over Elite, but not over Caden. Caden and Noah 50. Oh my goodness, what a save. Poofy with an unreal top of the line aerial shot, and Caden with a last minute save, and tries to call their own number with a double there on the backboard, but does not get it. Caden gets boost, stays with it, carries it up here, flying over Poofy, 50s off of Poofy, then gets bumped towards the net. Noah tosses it up to Poof, who gets demoed by Caden. Elite controlling here in the far corner. We got 10 seconds left, down by 2. Elite stays with it, but Huskies are going to take Game 4 in a 3-1 series lead. This Huskies team, I mean, they're the best team in Elite League, but this has just been an unbelievable outing as we get a final 0-second bar down snipe there from Noah to just make the point of how good are these Huskies.
I mean, our Huskies are really showing who they are in these games, and I feel like we haven't seen this type of play style from this team this entire season. I mean, best I've seen these players play, and I gotta say, same goes for the Unicorns, but they really gotta fix the little mistakes that they're making in order to catch up. And we're seeing a timeout from our Unicorns.
Yeah, so we will, in 30 seconds, the timeout will begin. It will be a 60-second timeout. So that is the Unicorns looking to regroup here, change the tempo because their backs are against the wall, lose one more, and the Huskies are the champions. Got a little chat going back and forth here. I just, I can't believe some of the stuff I'm seeing, and I completely agree with what you said before. About the Huskies playing a little bit different. I don't know if it's a confidence thing or if it's the side the how big the moment is. But I called a regular season game for the Huskies and it just did not look quite like this. They're playing loose. They're playing creative. They're scoring in some absolutely stunning ways. It's certainly a team that if they win, it just absolutely deserves it.
Yeah, and I gotta say, smart play here from our Unicorns, taking the timeout, trying to get things readjusted, trying to figure out what they can do. I think it's a good time to talk strategy, to talk, play styles. I mean, when you're down 3-1, you're losing hope, right? But that doesn't mean it's impossible.
Yeah, and so much of a game like this that's fast paced, that's short matches, is a mental game because you got to be, especially at a level like this, you got to be so fast and so consistent. And timeout is over. So we are going to get started here on game 5, a chance to be champions for the Huskies, a chance to start clawing back for the Unicorns after they used their timeout. Let's see what happens here. We have Elite and Poofy taking our face off here. Caden goes on the left wall for it. Doesn't get any boost, so this is going to be an interesting play up here. Gets real close. Noah able to pop it over, and to start the match, an easy goal for Poofy on a double. Getting a little bit too close there. Way too far up too early for the Unicorns.
Yeah, and to be down only 12 seconds into what is this, game 5, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 12 seconds into game 5, getting one down. It's a little scary, seeing as what we just came from. But Unicorns now in the possession of the ball. Caden trying to find a pass out to mid to Elite. Can't find the goal because Poofy will block this off. Caden up to the corner. Takes that corner boost. Finds a reset. Will find a touch, but won't find a goal. Noah now takes an open net. Poofy, the disrespect, stealing that goal. Try to shorten the time up just a millisecond.
I would encourage all people watching the stream to look at how much time is left on the clock here and have a little chuckle to yourselves. Comedy numbers, everybody. As we got Caden controlling it on the Huskies end. Elite's going to go up there for a shot. That was a good play, but Poofy with a big save. Caden's controlling this in front of his own net. Noah going behind. Poofy in front. Pinch over from Caden. Poofy able to handle that easily. Elite steals it off in his own corner. Kind of losing control there with not a lot of boost, but a good read from Caden to get up there. But Poofy steals it and gets it right back down. Both of the Unicorns boostless there and downfield. That is a tough situation as the Huskies take an early 3-0 lead in this potentially championship clinching game.
Yeah, I gotta say 343 when you're down 0-3, it's a little scary, but still potential here. Poofy gets a reset, not using it. Caden, a little bit of a clear, trying to just buy some time. Noah now taking his car to the ceiling. Will find the backboard, trying to find a bump on Elite. Will find it. Poofy nowhere to be seen. Takes a little bit of a late challenge, trying to find a pinch, passes it straight to Caden. Caden pops it up. Poofy blocking him off for it. Now Noah popping that one up to the sidewall, but Caden sending it back straight to himself. Gets a flick straight to Poofy. Poofy to the corner. Not able to find a goal. Elite will clear it out. Noah in the possession. Flips towards himself. Caden misreading the ball. Elite will find the clear out. Now Noah and Poofy in the same corner can be dangerous, but great save from Elite and Caden, which is weird. That was like a double save.
Back saves. That's crazy. That's one worth really dissecting with a slow motion replay. So we got Noah carrying it off his own backboard. Caden goes in to try to steal it, does not get it. Elite gets a demo on Poofy, but Caden not able to get the shot on with the open net. Noah challenges. Elite goes up, pushes it into the Huskies corner, then tries to throw it out for Caden. Not able to connect. And Poofy able to throw that on. Elite gonna get it, but give it off to Noah, who bumps Elite in the air, and then bounce pass for Poofy that doesn't quite connect. Pops up for Elite, who goes for it but doesn't get it. Caden able to follow through though, and the Unicorns get on the board. We have 2 minutes left. Unicorns trying to get 2 more to save their season.
Yeah, and a little bit of a risky play there from our Huskies. Poofy getting the unfortunate pop there on the early challenge from Caden's air dribble, and pops it kind of straight towards his net, and then Elite with the fake. Well played here from our Unicorns. Noah a little awkward, not a lot of boost to work with. Elite trying to find a 50, will find it, but it's straight over the net. Caden on the back wall, gonna control this ball. Poofy takes a 50, but Caden will find the better end of it. Noah sending it out to midfield. Poofy with a big 50. Noah trying to keep this out of the front of their net. Elite takes a shot, a little far off, but Poofy will get a clear. Caden now trying to stay on this ball, trying to hold that aggression that the Huskies have had this entire series. Noah trying to find a pass to Poofy. Caden on this ball. A little bit of an early challenge from Noah. Poofy will find the rebound on it. Straight into the top left corner. The only place he could shoot, I gotta say. Well placement. Or well placed, I guess I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. This is another hat trick game for Poofy. Hat trick, 3 saves on 4 shots. Just unbelievable efficiency from a phenomenal player. Absolutely MVP level stuff, but don't count him out. Unicorns saw in game 1, love a comeback. And we've got a second goal here for Caden. Nice little push up right off the face off there. And we'll see if this last 70 seconds is enough time for the Unicorns to mount a comeback, or if we are looking at our new FDL Elite League champions.
Elite with the 50. Poofy trying to find a clear. Caden trying to get on this ball. Poofy will not leave though. Elite grabbing that mid boost. Gonna have to find a beat on Noah. Will find it, but Poofy will be there. A little awkward. Caden getting a little beat out. Poofy getting a little bit of action going on here. Elite sends it out to the midfield. Noah finding a beat. Caden trying to jump for that one. Trying to find every opportunity that they can. Poofy sending it to the left. Noah with the shot, and defender just a little too awkward there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's tough. And what a flawless pass. Unbelievable play there from Poofy. 5 points on the game now. 2 assists, 3 goals. Both players have factored into all 5 goals for the Huskies. So a phenomenal team play on top of everything else. They take a 3-goal lead in with 30 seconds, but now it is a 2-goal lead. Caden smashes home the hat trick goal to once again try and keep the season alive off a phenomenal feed from Elite there. We'll see with 27 seconds if it's enough time for Unicorns to make something happen. Caden and Noah facing off. Elite goes in fast and hard for that. Takes it up the Huskies' left wall. Plays it in. Tries to get something going, but doesn't really connect. Caden throws it up. Elite goes for the shot, but does not get it. And we have a 2-goal lead in the final 5 seconds here. And your Elite League Huskies are the Elite League champions. Just an unreal performance. Obviously, a fantastic showing from Unicorns that were never out of it. Played to the last second there, obviously, and had such a phenomenal comeback in game 1. But that's just an unbelievable gentleman sweep from the Huskies. Poofy had some nutty stuff, but as a team, an unstoppable unit. You can tell why they're the best team in the league.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't agree more with that. And got to give some amazing credits here to our teams. It's
We're
insane.
checking to see if we're gonna get an interview with our champions here. In the meantime, I do want to let everyone out there know that there is still one more finals left to be played, and that is Sunday, tomorrow, May 4th, 9:30 p.m. We have the Origin Finals. It is also, if for anyone that has watched all of tonight, it is Dragons versus Huskies, so some familiar franchise names there as well. And we'll see if the Huskies are able to nab multiple championships as a franchise here. Still waiting to see on an interview. We're going to give them a couple so we can just kind of vamp on this for a second. I don't, like, what do you even do when someone just pops off like that? Like, when you're trying to mount a comeback and Poofy just hits some like impossible goal from the far corner. How do you how do you even manage that? It's a absolutely unstoppable force.
Honestly, I think it just came down to chemistry. We saw our Huskies team really just lock in with each other and just overall dominated the field. But I got to give kudos to our Unicorns team. Even making it to the finals is a big step in I'd say FDL. And I mean, with how our Unicorns played in general, still definitely deserved to be here. And I want to say congratulations to our Huskies team.
Yeah, absolutely. That's worth repeating. I mean, the Unicorns had an unbelievable season as well, and they are here for a very specific reason as well. But they absolutely deserve to be here. They fought tooth and nail, and unbelievable performance from the Huskies. But they can hold their head up high on this one and know that they put in a really good showing. But so hard. To come out on top when the other team just makes you pay for every single mistake you make. And I don't think that we're going to get an interview here, so I want to take us out. I want to remind everybody that we do have one more match, and it will be streamed. That is Origin Dragons versus Huskies final tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. But I want to thank everyone who tuned into all of our matches, everyone in the broadcasting booth, all of the other casters for all of our other games. We're so close to the end of the season. Thank you all so much for tuning in throughout the regular season and the playoffs. For myself and Clover, have a fantastic rest of your Saturday.
Yeah.